Good morning and welcome to a rather picturesque Forfarshire Cricket Club in Dundee, Scotland for the fifth game of the Women's World T20 Qualifiers 2019 between Thailand and Namibia. The sun is shining and conditions are perfect for T20 cricket. Day one saw 3 games completed with comprehensive wins for Ireland, Thailand and the host Scotland. Unfortunately, the match between Papua New Guinea and Bangladesh was abandoned without a ball being bowled due to persistent rain, and they will replay the fixture tomorrow. Thailand have started their campaign on a high with a resounding win over the Netherlands, winning by 30 runs in what was a reduced overs game at Arbroath Cricket Club. They'll be riding high on confidence. Namibia, on the other hand, found the going tough against a strong Irish team yesterday. They went down by 7 wickets in the only fixture of the day that wasn't rain affected. Earlier, Isabel Joyce was out in the middle with the 2 captains for the toss. Let's take a look at how that unfolded.
Welcome to Forfarshire Cricket Club in Broughty Ferry, Scotland for Game 5 of the ICC Women's World T20 Qualifier. We've got Thailand and Namibia facing up against each other, and I have captain of Thailand, Sornaran Tipok, and captain of Namibia, Yasmin Khan, and third umpire, Jacqueline Williams, who will be conducting the toss.
So here's a coin, this is a head, and this is a tail. You will toss and you will call. Yeah, stay right here. Tails. Tails is a call. Heads it is.
We go on a bat first.
Yeah.
Okay, come and join me, Sornaran. So you've won the toss and chosen to bat first. Why have you decided to do that?
I looking the pitch, and pitch also good, and this is the first game for this ground, and we want to bat first. Yeah.
Okay, very good. And what do you think a par score is?
We hope we got score 120 and more than
Okay, well, good luck.
Yeah.
And thank you.
ขอบคุณค่ะ Thank you.
Yasmin. Would you have bowled first if you'd won the toss?
We would have wanted to bat first as well, as long as the sun is shining. We wanted to put a target on the board.
Okay.
The weather's unpredictable.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
what would you want to keep them under in this game?
I think under 100 would be.
Okay, and your strength is kind of your bowling, so you're happy that you'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good luck for the day.
Thanks.
Thanks very
Thank
much.
you. Thanks.
So from the middle, Thailand have won the toss and have decided to bat first. Let's take a look at how these 2 squads line up. There we go. Taking a look at the Namibian lineup, a disappointing first game for them in their opening fixture against Ireland. Batters never really got going. Be a bit of pressure on them to put in the performance today. They'll start with the ball, however, and it'll be interesting to see whether they start with Kayleen Green, the right arm leg spinner, opened the bowling yesterday and did a decent job for them. They'll be looking for their batters to come to the party today. Yasmin Khan, the captain, hopefully she can lead from the front for the team.
Yeah, and for Thailand yesterday, they had a good performance, a 9-over match. Will they open with Chantam and Chaiwai, who didn't lose their wickets? They batted for 9 overs, scoring 44 and 26 respectively. Some star players for them. And of course their bowling is second to none, with Sutarang and Buchatam opening the bowling.
Namibia preparing to take the field. Some inspiring words just been seen by Yasmin Khan, the captain. They'd be wanting to get their first win under the belt, Isabel.
Yeah, an exciting tournament for Namibia. They look delighted to be here, which is only right because they kind of came in the back door. They weren't expecting to come, but they performed really well in the Africa qualifier, coming second to Zimbabwe, who unfortunately weren't able to make it. And there we go, Eloise and Claire Polisak, 2 female umpires, and the third umpire is a female as well. So an all-female umpiring panel.
Great to see, and I believe this is Eloise's T20 international debut, so that's great to see as well as they take the field.
Yeah, plenty of umpiring opportunities for female umpires, and Claire Polisak is the right woman to be leading Eloise Sheridan out on to the pitch. She's very experienced. She was the first woman to officiate a professional fixture, professional men's fixture in Australia in 2017. And she also has umpired a men's one-day international earlier this year in Namibia. She was the first woman to do that. So a trailblazer as Namibia take the pitch.
Thailand batters take to the field. They'll be looking to pick up where they left off yesterday. Brilliant start for them in the tournament. 76 without loss they were in their 9 overs against the Netherlands.
So they're going with the same opening pair they went with yesterday. And that's number 11, Chai Wai, and number 19,
Natakan Chantam, who was 44 not out yesterday. So they'll be full of confidence. Let's see how they begin today's proceeding. It will be Natakan Chantam to take the first ball.
and Sune Wittmann. He'll be opening the bowling for Namibia. A beautiful day today here at Forfeiture Cricket Club, and I think both teams were very relieved, Preston, to see the good weather when they woke up this morning after a tough day yesterday. They both found it really difficult in those conditions.
Absolutely, and perfect conditions, as you say. Thailand full of confidence, want to get in, want to put runs on the board. I take it that was the feeling you got from the captains out in the middle?
Yeah, they want to basically repeat what they did yesterday. They have confidence in these opening batters, and I think that bowling is actually their strength, so they're happy to defend anything, really.
Sune Wittmann to begin proceedings. Good length, good start, and patted back, dot ball. This Thailand story really is quite remarkable. Their rise up the ICC rankings, currently number 12 in the world, and climbing steadily. It's wide, cut to cover, no run.
She won't mind that though. She's struck that extremely well, has Chantam.
Isabel, you've seen a fair bit of Thailand cricket in recent years. What do you make of their outfit?
Well, that shot there just shows the difference in the last year or so, because they're really hitting the ball hard, and that's what the word coming back from Irish camp, certainly when I spoke to the girls after their recent quadrangular in the Netherlands. That was that they are getting stronger with the bat, and that their bowling is even tighter than it was before. Their fielding has always been their biggest strength, so the other two kind of aspects just catching up now.
Yeah, you mentioned that quadrangular series held in the Netherlands, which Thailand actually won with 3 other strong teams. Played, and it's through the covers. It's pierced the infield. Is that going to go all the way? And it has. The outfield much quicker than it was yesterday, and it's the first boundary of the game.
A beautiful shot here by Chantam. She just leaned onto it and found the gap this time between extra cover and cover. She'll be delighted to get that first boundary under her belt.
Wittmann in again. Chapman cuts away again, and it's through. That's going to be another boundary. A perfect start for Thailand here. It's 8 for no loss, and 1 ball to go in the first over.
She's just bowling too wide here, Wittmann. She's going to have to, when she bowls straighter, she's in the money, but once there's a bit of width for the Thai batters, they're happy to get their hands through, and they know there's not going to be too much bounce, so there's not too much of a risk freeing the hands outside off.
Played again, pushed into cover, no run. Ominous signs for Namibia here. Chantam, everything seems to be coming off the middle of the bat. She's in good form. That's the end of the over. It's 8 for no loss.
So can they fare better in their second over in Namibia?
With the new ball, it's Sylvia Shehepo coming from the pavilion end.
They were pretty happy with their bowling performance yesterday in Namibia. They said they also fielded well, so it's their kind of stronger suit, and they'll want to make sure that they don't have a huge total to chase, as their batting they're not as confident with. So Eloise Sheridan standing umpire at the clubhouse end for first ball.
Pushed back into cover again, dot ball.
I think that's the way to bowl on this wicket, bowling into the pitch. Once you kind of float it up there, it's pretty easy to hit through the field, but once you, even though that one was a little bit short, and I think it's very difficult to play across the line. The Thai team still looking a little bit chilly there in their kind of dugout area.
Sylvia Shehepo in again. Played inside edge, back to the bowler, no run again. Good start from Sylvia Shehepo.
A little bit tougher for Chaiwai here than possibly the previous over was for her partner.
It's hit the back leg, that's close, and the finger goes up, it's out. Thailand lose their first, and Sylvia Shehepo gets her first wicket.
Yeah, Narumal Chaiwai goes for a duck at third ball. That one's crashed into her back pad, and I think she expected it to bounce a little bit more.
So after the brilliant start Thailand had yesterday, putting on 76 for the opening wicket, they lose their first in the second over, and it's 8 for 1. Namibia will be delighted with that.
They certainly will, because Narumal Chaiwai is ranked number 7 in the T20 batting rankings, ICC, and that's worldwide, so that you can include Meg Lanning and various people like that in those rankings. So a big loss for Thailand early on. They had a good first over. This second over is proving a lot more difficult for them. And she's just played across her pad there, and the bowler knew, I think, as soon as it hit the pad, she was very excited, and you can understand why.
It's been a great first over from Sylvia, leading the way for her team, setting the tone here. Still no runs off her first over. Sylvia Shehepo in again. Another dot ball.
So it's Nanapat Koncharenkrai has come to the crease. She's got a high score of 57. And looked a little bit unsure as to whether she should come forward or go back there. So she's found her length straight away here.
That's Fuller, driven by Nanapat to extra cover. Another dot ball. Great start for Sylvia Shehepo. Just what the Namibians needed after a powerful first over from Thailand.
Yeah, it wasn't even really that expensive. It only went for 8, but it was the manner in which the runs were scored, and there could have been a few more. So this will settle their nerves a lot.
Fuller and driven, and brilliant fielding at mid-off. Just the single. She saved the boundary there.
Yeah,
and Nanapat off the mark.
The veteran Irene Van Ziel doing the fielding there. And that brings about the end of the second over. Thailand are 9 for 1. And so that's the bowling card so far. A little bit expensive from Sune Wittmann, but Sylvia Shehepo followed up with a quick wicket and just the one run. So good economy rate from her, and they'll want to continue in that vein although it is Wittmann to return, she might have learned something, you'd think, from Sylvia's previous over.
Yeah, she'll looking to try and tighten up her line, I think. Nanapat drives to mid-on. No run.
Just what the doctor ordered there. It was still a bit too full for what she probably wants to bowl, but definitely a better line.
Wittmann in again. Pulled short of a length. Another dot ball. So good pressure being applied here by Namibia.
An interesting tactic being employed by Namibia here. They have all 9 fielders inside the ring, so they're really showing their cards there. They want to make sure that they stop any boundaries happening.
Wide ball down the leg side.
I just wonder if possibly pushing cover out might allow Wittmann to bowl the channel that she actually wants to bowl. She wants to bowl just outside off, and then, okay, in the first over she was a little bit too wide, but now when she's trying to bowl straight, it's very difficult. It's a very tight line she's got to stick to.
Short again. Nanapat plays off the back foot to point into the keeper. No run. And I think the skipper's been listening to you there, Isabella, as deep cover gets sent to the boundary. Good over here from Wittmann. She's in again. Slower ball. Just inside the line. Another dot ball here.
It's nearly like, oh, it's nearly a bonus ball from Sune Wittmann. Just toying with the wide line there. You either look like a genius or your team are really mad at you, so it's a dangerous tactic to employ.
She's come back strongly here in a second over, only 1 run from it. Another slow ball, it's a wide down the leg side.
Plenty of instructions being shouted out from the Thailand tent over here.
It's a very excited dugout. They seem delighted to be here. A lot of energy. Great team to watch. Driven to mid-on solidly. Another dot ball. That's the line Wittmann is searching for, I think. Nice and straight. Ask the batters to play across the line.
I think they've discovered, especially with their height, if they can bowl straight, it doesn't really matter so much what the length is. Another slower ball. That's a good finish to the over. That's twice she's done that. So that brings about the end of the 3rd over, and Thailand are 11 for 1.
Quite an even start here, Isabel. I think no one really taking the upper hand just yet. A few blows here and there.
Yeah, it's a funny one. I think Thailand will be trying to bat the way that they need to bat, playing against probably higher ranked teams, but Namibia know that they need Thailand to make a low score because batting is not their strength, so they're both kind of, you know, going against probably the run of the game. Thailand trying to score more runs than they possibly need, and Namibia focusing more on getting the runs down, even though this is a very good start. So Shehepo to return.
Short of a length and played nicely into the covers. Dot ball. Good fielding from Namibia. Again, they've persisted with that extra woman in the ring. Interesting tactic again. Obviously, big backing for the bowler here.
Yeah, they put a lot of pressure on their bowlers, but I think we saw by the return from Sune Wittmann in her second over there that they're up to the challenge. They're willing to try and play the kind of brand of cricket that they think will help them over the line.
It's a wider one.
What a catch in the covers! That is unbelievable fielding from the cover fielder, diving to her right, and I don't think that Chantham can quite believe it.
I can't quite believe that. That is unbelievable. What a catch.
A wry smile from the departing batter. And you can understand why that was an unbelievable. And as you can see from Namibia there, they can't really believe it either. The bowler there, Shehepo, hands to the mouth in just shock. We saw the ball before, quite an athletic stop and return to the wicketkeeper. So she'd given signs of how good a fielder she was, but I wasn't quite expecting that.
And that's the end of Chatham. Another dangerous batter goes for Thailand. And Namibia will be absolutely delighted with that. What a wicket. And what a start from Sylvia Shehepo. 2 wickets. Another look at that. Hit up the screws of the bat. Diving low to the right, and she takes an absolute blinder. Great work here from Namibia. Pressure certainly on the Thailand players.
And so Nataya Buchatham comes to the crease, the left-hander. She's number 20 all-rounder in the world, so probably the glue of the team, bowls and bats. And Sylvia staying over the wicket to her.
Hits the pad, no run. Again, and as we spoke about, keeping that extra man in the circle has produced the rewards for Namibia. So credit to the captain.
Absolutely, it's something that either makes you look like a genius or not. You know, that one could have easily gone between the fielders and raced to the boundary, and then you're wondering why that cover fielder's not out. But I think they know they've got to take wickets here at Namibia if they're going to be in a chance with this game.
It's full again and defended to mid-wicket. Sylvia Shehepo, only 1 run conceded so far. Namibia, a real bounce in their step now. Driven positively to mid-wicket again, dot ball.
I think that's the skipper, Yasmin Khan, there in mid-wicket doing great work. A very athletic looking bunch in the field.
And that's a wide delivery. Sylvia Shehepo will be disappointed with that. Sylvia Shehepo in again. It's full. Played to square leg, no run. Brilliant fielding from Namibia there. Another dot ball, and that's the end of the 4th over. Great start here for Namibia. Thailand are 12 for 2.
I think if you'd asked Namibia what they would have liked in the first 4 overs today, they would have said 12 for 2 will do just fine. And Thailand reeling a little bit, but they are filled with confidence, and this is probably a good challenge for them at this point in time.
Namibia with the bowling change from the nursery road end. Into the tack is Wilka Watile. Full played to mid-wicket, another dot ball. Again, the ring field for Namibia applying pressure constantly. Wilka in again. Played to short fine leg, no run again. Wilcom Watila in again. Good length off the back foot, played to mid-on. Another dot ball.
She looks like she's getting a little bit of movement in here, and it's just a nagging kind of length and pace. Nothing that the Thai batters can kind of use to score some more boundaries, which is what they're looking for in this power play.
Bigger shot there. It's got pierced the gap. Could be 2 here, possibly 3. It's well fielded in the deep. Just the 2. Releases the shackles a bit for Thailand there.
Yeah, it was a really good chase there to the boundary. Very quick turn and throw. I think that the Thai girls were hoping to get more than 2, so a good result for Namibia. Watile just going for 2 so far in this over.
Played to mid-wicket. Diving stop again. It seems to have got through. They're going to run through for, make it through for a single. Good running, good awareness from both batters. Saw the misfield and went for the single.
Yeah, it was actually kind of half stopped by the mid-wicket fielder there. And then she kind of booted it past mid-on. And Yasmin Khan's decided to change the field. She's going for 4. Oh no, sorry, it's the we have a left-hander on strike, so same field employed, but one coming across.
Buchatam yet to get off the mark. Big shot again, another great diving stop. Saved a few runs there, certainly, and that's the end of Watile's first over. Another good one from her. It's 15 for 2 after 5.
And I have a feeling we'll be looking at this catch for a good while to come. Andri van der Merwe taking an unbelievable catch to her right, one-handed, and it's one of those ones that either sticks or it just pops out.
Absolutely, and what a key wicket it was. The danger woman Chantam after her blistering 44 not out yesterday. Sylvia Shehepa continues, and it's a loose one from her, and it's put away with disdain. That's more of what Thailand would be looking for as Nanapat gets her first boundary of the day.
Yeah, that'll ease their nerves a little bit. It doesn't matter who you're playing or, you know, what situation you're in, who's ranked where in these qualifying tournaments. You have to win every game, really. So even though Thailand are ranked much higher and, you know, would come in as big favourites here, those few early wickets and how well Namibia have bowled would have made them quite nervous. Oh, and that's a good return from Sylvia. I think that Nanapat thought she was going to get another full toss, and it just dropped at the last second on her. So she did well to dig that one out.
I think you're absolutely right, though, Isabel, in the context of the tournament. Obviously, a great start for Thailand yesterday, but only the openers got to the crease, so no one here has played yet in Scotland this time round. So pressure is on. Shehepa in again. Full toss and well fielded at square leg. Brilliant work. They come through for the single.
Well, they always say don't run off a misfield, and I thought for a second there that Nanapat was going to be in some trouble because the Namibian fielders are extremely good at throwing from their knees, as we just saw, but the ball just fell a little bit further away from the fielder than she would have liked.
Sylvia Shehepa in again. Yorker length, dug out. She'll take the dot ball. Buchatam still yet to get off the mark. Thailand just reconsolidating their innings here. It's been a good start from Namibia. They won't want to lose any more wickets in this power play.
Yeah, they do play an aggressive brand, but when you lose 3 wickets in the power play, it's very difficult to recover. Oh, and they've almost got another one there.
Sylvia Shehepa Constant pressure being applied for her. Cham looking to get off the mark still.
I think the Thai players are caught between two minds a little bit. They want to attack, but it's not a very easy wicket to bat on when you get the length right. And cover's going out now just to make sure that Sylvia gets out of this over, which I think is a good call. A rare loose ball down leg side from Sylvia Shehepo.
Sylvia Shehepo in again from the pavilion end.
And she's bowled her straight through. That's the third wicket they wanted in the power play there. And unbelievable figures here from Sylvia Shehepo. She's taken her third wicket, and Buchatham has to go her middle stump cartwheeling out.
She has been on brilliant form here. What a delivery. Middle stump out the ground. Thailand lose their third in the power play. And Sylvia Shehepo really leading the way here for the Namibians. She's been consistent with her line and length, always attacking the stumps, and she's been rewarded there with her third wicket.
I was just going to mention it's a cardinal sin to bowl a wide on your sixth ball of the over, and how frustrated that she would be, Sylvia, with having bowled that ball. But I think she'd do it again if she could, because she's got rid of the dangerous Buchatham, and she's made sure that her team is on the front foot in this power play.
So that is the end of the power play then. 21 for 3 Thailand are. And you'd have to say Namibian... Let me just take a look at it again. Just through the gap, trying to play across the line there, Buttacham. And Sylvia Shehepo rewarded with her third wicket of the day. Filler ball. Big appeal from the Namibians. Not out, says the umpire. Another dot ball.
So Motile continuing here, and I think the the Namibians are having an absolutely fantastic time out there. They're loving life.
They certainly are, and why wouldn't you at 21 for 3? It's a great power play. Twi'lek bowls, and it's well played, defended. Another dot ball. Absolutely great start from the Namibians here. It's key, however, they take control of this middle period. They know Thailand have a dangerous bowling attack, so they don't want to be chasing too many here. Played away again. Absolutely brilliant fielding from the Namibians.
That's Sune Wittmann, the opening bowler at square leg, throwing herself around.
That's what you want to see from your opening bowler.
Absolutely. She could teach a few opening bowlers around the world a thing or two.
Tile from the Nursery Road end. Again, good length. Can't get it away here, Thailand. It's played to mid-on.
I think this is the right bowler to be bowling to Nana Pat. She just gets her hands away from her body a little bit and in her backlift, looking to get a bit of extra power. But with Moitile bringing the ball back in, it's quite a dangerous kind of bat path for her to be implementing.
Nana Pat plays it, and she finds a gap. That's going to be a boundary. Her second of the day. And that's come out the screws.
It was at a catchable height, so for a split second there I thought we were going to have another screamer, but she's managed to find the gap, and that's the area that she favours. So, you know, I really I'm amazed that Namibia have managed to employ this tactic of having all their fielders in. And you just wonder, do they need to drop a few fielders to make sure that those boundaries don't go for 4, especially when it looks like there's only 1 or 2 areas that the Thai batters are trying to score to.
Twi'lek. Fuller length again, good line. played away to mid-on. You just have to think at this stage in the game, Nanapat is key for the Thailand players here. She's 13 of 23. That's the end of the 7th. It's 25 for 3. Yeah, she's 13 of 23, so taking a bit of time to get in, but establishing herself at the crease. 2 boundaries. She needs to try and find a way to bat through this innings and hold it together for Thailand.
She certainly does, and you know, if she gets out now, having been there for kind of double the number of balls that she's scored off, then Thailand will be in all sorts. And we've got a change of bowling here. It's the veteran Urine Van Ziel, and she's a very tidy bowler. Well, got 1 for 11 yesterday, and has a lovely seamers action. Doesn't bowl too quick, just bowls it into the pitch and makes sure that things happen.
Fuller and driven, and that's a beautiful shot. That's going to be 4 runs. Lovely shot there from Sutirang. Great start for her. That's her first ball, and she's put that away with disdain.
Well, we said that the Thai girls would be getting nervous, but that didn't look like a nervy shot at all from Sutirang. But I mean, if you're asked what you want first ball up when you go out to face, it's going to be a half volley outside off. So hopefully Van Ziel can pull her length back and maybe test her a little bit more.
It's a loosener. It's gone high in the air, and it's taken. Hold on. The umpires have signaled no ball. That's not out. Big decision that from the umpires, but I think a fair one.
I'd say that the heart was in the mouth there for Sutirang. It was definitely a touch and go call. A free hit has been signalled by Eloise Sheridan.
Let's take a look at that. And it is high.
Definitely high.
That's a good call by the umpire. It's played away to mid-on, no run. So good comeback there from Irina van Zyl.
And again, I can't believe that for a free hit where the batters cross, they haven't changed the field for a free hit. It's just, it beggars belief, but it's worked out for them, so they obviously know something that I don't.
Beautiful shot played into the covers, and it's pierced the gap, just the one. The sweeper is out there. So scoreboard ticking along. Sutirang looks in very good touch. It certainly is a key moment in the game, I think, after Sylvia Sehertlo bowled so well. And this is the bowling change. You could probably have argued you could have gone on with Sylvia and get her 4th one.
Yeah, I think they're just following their usual pattern, which is Van Ziel to come in after the power play.
Driven away to cover, no run.
She was Namibia's leading wicket taker in their qualifier to get here, so she's a bowler that they obviously like to employ during the middle overs to keep things calm, and she's one of the older players, took a break from the game and has come back, so she has nerves of steel, no doubt.
Van Zyl in. Off the back foot, flayed away to point, and it's good fielding again. Prevents the single. That's the end of the over. 8 gone, and it's 32 for 3. Correction, 1 ball to go here. Oh, and she's bowled her. What a delivery. Irina van Zyl. What a comeback. She does the job for the Namibians. That's a great wicket for Irina.
Yeah, we spoke about her hitting the deck. She is a proper seamer. She's finally found her length that over, and she's made the ball talk. And Sutirang, who looked $1 million since she came in, she's only really faced that over, has got to make her way back to the clubhouse.
Again, the Namibians finding a way to keep taking wickets. Just so crucial in T20 cricket.
Yeah, so the extra ball doing it again for Namibia. Hits a good length and gets the ball to come back in. And that's the stuff of nightmares for bowlers. Top of off, you don't know whether to come forward or go back. And what a celebration for Marine van Zyl.
She was absolutely delighted with that, and rightly so. A great wicket again. And a good start for her for today.
And so they've decided to put that fielder out on the leg side, which I think is a good call. Nanapat is the set batter, so they probably want to make sure that the incoming batter, Anichap, is on strike as much as possible.
And it's Wilka Moitile who will continue from the nursery road end. Phil, is that out? Is that out? It's
I think
chipped
that's
back
out.
to the bowler. Is it a bump ball? That's difficult to tell from here. The umpires are conferring. Could this be another wicket for the Namibians? And it's out. It's signalled out. The 5th wicket goes down. 32 for 5, and Thailand in all sorts of trouble now.
Well, I have to say, as soon as I saw it, I thought it was out. I think the batters hit the ground because it was so full, but it wasn't quite Yorker length. It was just short of Yorker length, and it was an easy return catch in the end for the tall bowler, Wilka Moitile. And I think at the moment, reeling at 5 wickets down, Thailand just don't really know what's happening.
There's a lot of work to do for the Thailand batters here. Just to remind our viewers as well, Namibia coming into the tournament ranked 25th in the world. Secured their place here due to the political issues in Zimbabwe. Take another look at that wicket. It's fuller length and it's just chipped straight back to the bowler. A great decision by the umpire. That's a clear caught and bowled. Difficult to tell on first look, but a great wicket again.
And that brings to the crease the skipper. So Sornarin Tipoch, there's a lot of work for her to do, and the team will be looking to her to sort out this mess they've got themselves into.
Moitile full again, driven to mid-off. A little fumble, they're going to take a single. Good awareness again, settle for one. Mid-off will be disappointed with that bit of fielding. That brings Onika Kamchompu onto strike, yet to face the ball. Wide signal by the umpire.
A little bit too excited, maybe Moitile. She can't quite believe she's helped her team get Thailand to 34 for 5 after 8.2 overs.
Bowled again, played off the back foot. Cover in the ring, so no run again.
It's interesting to see the Thai players playing this game because they're usually scamper through the wickets pretty much no matter where the ball goes. Now they are hitting the ball quite hard to the fielders, and probably a bit harder than I would have been used to seeing them in the past, but they're a bit afraid of these Namibian fielders, and rightly so.
Cut away strongly. It's a misfield, a rare misfield from the Namibians. And just the one. Yeah, you'd have to think that catch from Adri van der Merwe has really set the tone and just made the Thailand runners between wickets a little bit more cautious out in the middle there.
I've been really impressed by the skipper Yasmin Khan. That was her who chased after that misfielded ball. She's lightning in the field and has a rocket arm.
Full toss from Moitile, got away with it. Another dot ball.
I think that's her danger length. That was kind of full tossish, Yorker lengthish kind of one that she got the cotton bowled with. So understandably Sornorin is reticent to repeat the previous batter's mistake.
Hits the pads, a loud appeal from the Namibians. Not out the signal.
Yeah, it's got to have pitched outside leg, you'd have thought. So that brings about the end of the 9th. Thailand 35 for 5.
Nina van Zyl will continue from the pavilion end as we take a look at the scorecard. Nana Pat, only one getting into double figures so far. It's been tough going for the Thailand batters. Down the leg side. May have flicked the pad there, no call from the umpire. Will be a dot ball.
Well, she was interested for a minute there, Van Zyl. I think Anica has just moved out of the way of the ball a little bit and she thought she might get clipped the leg stump.
Van Zyl in again. Driven hard down the ground. Little fumble from mid-on. But good backing up from Sylvia Sheherpo at mid-off. So just the single. Again, the Namibians keeping things tight.
Yeah, she's done just enough there, Wittmann, to save the boundary. It was kind of clubbed there by Anica. Difficult to get any power on the ball. I think the ball's coming off the wicket quite slowly as Van Zyl decides to go around the wicket to the left-hander. So a really big partnership needed here for Thailand.
Played to square leg. No run. Pressure certainly will be on the skipper here. A lot of batting still to do.
And this is the kind of game as a bowler you dream of bowling in, because there's really not a huge amount of pressure on Namibia. You know, they obviously are in a great position and they want to make sure that they keep the score probably under 70 or 80, but you know, they've, no matter what, they're doing fantastically. And
Again, probing line from Van Zyl. Another dot ball. Yeah, you would have to say that coming into this game, Thailand were clear favourites. So Namibia have the upper hand here. So pressure certainly on the Thailand batters. And again, on the flip side, is how Namibia can deal with being in front. Can they hold on to this position? Played again. Looks to be sliding down leg.
pretty sure she got a lot of bat on that, but yeah, I was speaking to Sornaran Tipoch, who's facing right now, before the game. She's the skipper of the Thai team, and I did ask her, does it bring a bit of extra pressure, because they've kind of come into this tournament as the form teams, beating Ireland twice in the quadrangular, and she said that no matter what, they always wanted to win every game, but you have to think that it's got to be playing on their minds.
It's a loose ball from Van Zyl down the leg side, signalled wide. When there is so much riding on the games, however, you know what sort of pressure can build. Tipoch again on strike. A big shot, play and a miss. Brings about the end of the 10th over. So we're at the halfway stage. Thailand 37 for 5.
So a rather dejected looking pair in the middle there, the Thai batters. They're looking at the scoreboard. I think they're not too happy with that number under the wickets column. But they'll have to just pick themselves up and think, right, next 10 overs. They've still got plenty of time to score plenty of runs. So it's just about starting again for them as Motile finishes out her spell. Here we have the bowling summary.
Probing line again. Stifled appeal from the Namibians. Not out the signal. Again, another dot ball from Motile. She's been very, very good today. Done a great job for her skipper.
Yeah, she's kind of done the job of a spinner, hasn't she? Because she just bowls a difficult speed to hit.
Played uppish and it's out! Another wicket. Thailand lose their 6th wicket of the day. Motile probing line forced the batter to play uppishly, and it's brought about the demise. It's a 6th wicket down for Thailand, and they're reeling at 37 for 6.
Yeah, a few last minute words from the coach to the incoming batter Wang Pake here, and he's I don't know what you can say at this point to make sure that things don't keep sliding down for Thailand. But yeah, huge game for them here, and a lot of pressure on that batter there, Wongpaka coming in, and can she withstand the pressure at number 8? The thing about the bat, here we have it again, and just played it too early, really. Couldn't decide whether to come forward or come back on each shot, and kind of caught it on the side of the bat, and it's an easy catch in the end at extra cover. So you'd have to say that all the pressure's on the skipper there, Sornarin Tipoch, but she's not facing up right now. It's the new batter, Wongpaka.
Oh, and that's close again. It's found the gap, past short fine leg, just the one. So close to another one there for Moatile. She's been very good today.
Yeah, she'd be very happy to finish with another wicket here. This is her last over. She's taken 2 so far, both been kind of chipped catches. The batter's not quite understanding the line and length that she's bowling. She's coming from a tall height but bowling quite slowly. Really high arm action.
Down the leg side, another wide. It's possibly one thing that Namibians might be disappointed with in the first half of the innings here is the number of extras they've bowled.
Yeah, I think they've decided they have to bowl straight, and it's worked for them. So sometimes then you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You're going to bowl a few extras down leg.
Twi'lek bowls, it's a loose one and it's put away. The captain gets her first boundary of the day. Played away past the woman at square leg. A much needed boundary for Thailand. 43 for 6.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed with that, Moatile. She's only got a couple of balls left in her spell. She'll want to finish out strong, either with a wicket or just with a few tight deliveries, and hand over to the next bowler.
Again, a good length, asking the question. Moatile not out the signal. Another
I'm
dot
not sure
ball.
there's any way she can get an LBW really bowling over the wicket and swinging it away from the left-hander. It's either missing or it's pitching outside leg, but I like the appeal nonetheless. Very almost pleading with umpire Claire Paholasak.
Change in the field as the square leg goes out to deep square. Twi'lek looking to close the over here. Full toss and put away by the skipper to the fielder at deep square leg. So just a single. Good close of the over from Moatile. It's 11 gone and the score is 44 for 6.
And a rather nervy looking Thailand team there in front of their tent. They've been shouting lots of instructions on the field the last few overs, and you just hope that they don't cause a run out by calling for runs that probably the batters need to decide on in the middle. And so Sornarin Tipoch has had a decent over the previous over. She'll look to continue on that vein of form and lead her team to a defendable total.
She really is the key here, isn't she? She's got to bat through these 20 overs. Still 9 overs to bat. Thailand will be looking to get as close to 100, or over 100 if they can, as Van Zyl continues. Good line. Played away to mid-wicket. No run. Good disciplined bowling here.
I'd love to see the tactic here of probably dropping 1 or 2 on the leg side for the skipper. She's clearly very strong on the leg side, and probably the bowlers would prefer to bowl to the incoming batter Wongpaka than the skipper.
It's full. Played hard. Inside edge to short fine leg. No run again. Good start to the 12th over here for Van Zyl.
They find themselves in an unusual situation here, Thailand. They're used to being quite a tidy unit. They wouldn't usually end up in these kind of situations against a team like Namibia. So a few shots you wouldn't normally see being played at the moment.
Off the pad, no run the call. Disciplined stuff here, Van Zyl into a third over, taking the 1 wicket and just conceded the 9 runs.
I've mentioned before how good Thailand's running between the wickets is, but you know, when you're down to number 8, they can't really keep scampering through for the singles. Tipok would typically try and tip it around.
Played hard into the covers. Again, they cannot find the gaps there. And this strategy of the ring field, again, paying dividends for the Namibians here.
Yeah, so as I was saying, she usually tips it around and then, you know, she has her 1 or 2 areas that she scores boundaries. So this situation doesn't really suit her style of play.
Again, driven to cover. No run. That's 5 dots. And a 12th over.
Van Zyl ringing the changes, just pushes her cover fielder out. She's happy to go for a single at the end of the over and make sure that the Thai girls can't get another boundary on the board.
Again, played solidly, defended. It's a dot ball. And a maiden over for Van Zyl. A rare maiden over in the 12th. Tipok taking responsibility, it seems. Sees out the over. She'll be looking to bat all the way through here. That's the end of the 12th. It's 44 for 6.
I think if they're going to make a total here, though, Tipok is going to have to trust her partner and take those singles. She's clearly finding it difficult to find the boundary. So, you know, she's still got a few batters in the sheds. She's got to trust her partner, Wongpaka, and take some singles, because otherwise they're going to keep on facing a maidens, and it's you know, there's only 8 overs left.
There's a change of bowler, Yasmin Khan. Bustling action. And she follows Moatile in a brilliant 4-over spell. Pressure will be on the skipper here to keep the pressure on the Thailand batters. Played off the back foot to point. Great fielding again. Just the single. That's better running, as you mentioned there. Good urgency from these Thailand batters. Brings back on strike the skipper. Khan, good length, played away solidly, no run.
I think if she can keep hitting the deck like this, it's the kind of wicket there where you expect it to come off and get your hands through. So Tipok will kind of be licking her lips, but it's not coming off as much as you'd like, so you can't get her hands through. A good contest.
Play and a miss. Again, just forcing the shot. A lot of dot balls building up here on the skipper. Needs to keep her composure. She has to bat through for her team. Yasmin Khan providing a bit of extra pace here. Thailand batters could look to use that.
She has quite a slingy action though, so it's just skidding through, not a lot of bounce.
Bowled again. Very probing line and length. Tipok can only play it back to cover for another dot ball. She's now 6 off 19. Phil again, inside edge. Good fielding at short mid-on. At short fine leg, sorry. And that ends Yasmin Khan's first over. A good one from her. Only one off it. Score 45 for 6. 13 overs gone.
So trying times for Thailand here. Just the 1 run from the previous 12 balls. And you have to wonder what they're saying in the middle there. Keep going. Let's try and score some boundaries. Do you think they'll be trying to go for singles rather? What's going to be the tactic going from here, Preston?
I think first and foremost they got to bat their overs, which it looks like that's what the skipper is trying to do here. the same time, they want to keep that scoreboard ticking. I think they got to show a bit more urgency in their running. You've said it is a strength of theirs, and they've got to go back to their strengths here. Dugout seems a little bit anxious. There's a lot of shouting onto the field.
So change of bowling here. Petro Enright is coming on to bowl her first over of the game. She sends cover out immediately and swapping mid-off and mid-on and sending mid-on back to long-on. So a little bit more defensive field for her.
Again, played to cover, no run. Petro Enright made her debut yesterday against Ireland, 36-year-old. Top scored for the Namibians.
That's quite a feat at 36 to get your first cap, but she's started off really well here. Good line and length.
Cut away, that's found the gap. Is it going to be a boundary? Oh, the fielder does well. Just the two again. Finally breaking the field though, Thailand batters. Score moves along to 47. Key for Petro Enright to keep applying pressure here. Bowlers have done a fantastic job all morning for the Namibians. Inside edge, play to short fine leg, run through for a one.
This is what we talked about. They've got to start taking those kind of singles. It was a shaky looking shot there from Wangpaka, but she managed to scamper down the other end, and her skipper's got to just trust her that she can do a job, or else she'll be in big trouble. And you spoke about what a good job the Namibians have done, the Namibian bowlers, but I think how well they've been backed up in the field has been just incredible. The whole team has just been diving around, chasing after balls. Brilliant throws in from the boundary as well, and some fantastic catches.
It's a fuller ball, played across the line. Just the one. So again bowling to a field here, as the captain Tipok looks to break the shackles.
Yeah, it looks like she really knows her field here, Enright. That deep mid-wicket, the straightish mid-wicket straight out there for the left-hander.
Enright, fuller ball, played to square leg, and again good fielding, diving on the knees, low to her left, so just a single. Big cheer from the Thailand dugout as Thailand bring up their 50. 50 for 6 in the 14th. Still a lot of work here to do.
We're so used to high scores in T20s, but these kind of games can be just as entertaining when it's a bowler's game, isn't it?
Again, flayed on the leg side. Found the gap. Could that be a boundary? It is a much needed, a much welcome boundary for the Thailand skipper, Sunanin Tipok. And a good over for Thailand. 54 for 6, 14 gone.
Yeah, so 9 runs from that over. A little bit unlucky there at the end from Petro Enright. It's gone to the square leg fielder, but it looks like it just moved laterally on her, and she looked a little bit dejected afterwards, pointing at the pitch. But Sunanin Tipok won't mind how they come. She just wants them to come.
Unfortunate for the Namibian fielder at square leg. Seemed to just take a little bobble on the AstroTurf on the outfield. Count herself unlucky. It's gone away for 4. So Yasmin Khan continues from the nursery road end. Full played to mid-wicket. There is a fielder out there deep, and they'll come back for 2. Good urgency now from the Thailand batters. You can just sense things stepping up a bit.
Yeah, and you have to wonder, you know, Namibia have dropped a few fielders out, and now is when Thailand are scoring some runs. So before now they'd employed a ring field, and it worked really well for them. So I'm not sure why they've changed their tactics.
Wangpaka drives it back, and it's a good call. They're coming through for the single. They'll make it comfortably in the end. Lots of cheers from the dugout.
Yasmin Khan will be disappointed with that. She's an excellent fielder, and she would usually expect herself to field that off her own bowling, but Yeah, it was a well taken run. They watched very closely, and it was so close to the stumps it was difficult for mid-on to come around and cut off the single.
These last 10 balls or so have certainly upped the spirits in the dugout. Thailand team shouting their plaudits to their batters. Skipper Tipok on strike. Well bowled from Yasmin Khan, finds the inside edge. Just a single, but importantly, another run for the Thailand team, and that scoreboard now ticking along steadily.
Yeah, she looks a little bit disappointed here. Does Khan. But I think this is more like what we're used to seeing from T20 cricket. A few more runs on the board.
It's the pads, a loud appeal from Yasmin Khan. Not out the signal. Another dot ball.
Yeah, it just looked like Wongpaka has moved a little bit outside leg stump when she got hit there. It was a good length. It wasn't going over, but probably missing leg stump. So good decision there from Claire Polisak.
Yasmin Khan charging in. Played towards square leg, and they've taken on the fielder. Good run again. Good energy from these two batters. Scampering through for a quick single.
Yeah, it's classic Thai running between the wickets. They put big pressure on the fielder there at square leg, and it is the successful bowler Mwatile. That split second of doubt where she tried to throw it before she had the ball meant she fumbled, and it was an easy single for Thailand.
That's kept low, but well played in the end. Played out to mid-wicket for a single. And that change in mindset with the running between wickets has certainly helped Thailand kickstart their innings here. Certainly built a bit of momentum going into the last 5.
Yeah, they're 60 for 5 after 15 now, and it's looking a bit healthier from a Thai perspective. They are such tight bowlers. They'll probably feel like they can defend anything, but a few more runs on the board will help them to ensure that they, as we look at the batting summary here, it's not looking too great for Thailand, but those last two there, Sornarin, Tipach and Wongpaka, with the partnership of over 20, has really helped them make sure that total is looking a little bit healthier.
Petro Enright bowls, and it's full. Not going to be a run there. Well fielded. Tipok doing the job here for her team, really digging in. Proper captain's knock. It's full and it's played, and that's going to be a boundary. Beautifully played. It's a fuller one from Petra Enright. Skipper Tipok has capitalised on that. Hit beautifully over mid-on. Couple of bounces and over the rope.
Yes, that was the delivery she was looking for. It just broken the shackles a little bit, you'd think. Petra Enright, the debutante yesterday, just showing a little bit of inexperience, bowling a full toss. Previously, Van Zyl had done a fantastic job at tying the batters down, but this is the bowler that Tipach will want on at the moment. A slower ball, and that's very unlucky. Almost through.
Great comeback there from Petra Enright. Beautifully disguised slower ball. Had the skipper beaten there. She's still there, however. 17 of 27.
She's a fantastic player of the game, Sornarin Tipach. Just goes around with a smile on her face. She said that she'd brought the sun with her today, so we thank her for that after a rather miserable day yesterday.
Use of the feet, and it's flayed.
That's through, wide of long on.
It's another boundary for the skipper. This is great stuff from the Thailand batters here. This partnership increasing. Really found a way to get that scoreboard motoring towards the back end of the innings, providing the impetus just when it's needed here from the skipper.
And so a big job here for Enright to make sure she doesn't go for more than 8 in her over.
Oh, it's well
she's bowled that
bowled.
slower ball again.
Good comeback again. Deceiving Tipok.
Yeah, she wants pace on the ball, doesn't she, Tipok? So I wonder if they have any other slower bowlers in their armoury, the Namibians, that they can bring on at the back end, because that seems to be the way to go on this deck.
And right in to finish her over. It's well bowled and well played. Tucked into the vacant mid-wicket area. It's the end of Enright's second over. She's gone for 18, but expensive. 16 now gone, and 69 for 6. What's a good score here, Isabel?
And we'll just have a look at those 2 4s from Tipok. They'll be super important for the Thai team come the end. That's beautifully played over long on, and that seems to be her area. She's shuffled down and just managed to beat the fielder at mid-on, and the ball just rolls over the boundary. A few sighs of relief in the Thai camp. I think a good score from here with 4 overs to go. I think if they got to 85, I think that's probably a little bit over, but 80, 85 might be a good score for them. I think if they can have another good over this over and then run well, then it's not out of their reach.
Yasmin Khan continues. Bustling in. It's played away to the fielder at deep long off. I think it's Silvio Shahepo out there.
You can see that they've decided they're going to run most things, and the non-strikers backing up very well, both Tipok and Wangpako when they're at the non-strikers end, making sure that they can get down the other end with ease.
Far better understanding running between the wickets between these two. Been very urgent, been very aware, taking on the fielders. Yasmin Khan continues. That's a full toss, played away again to the fielder at deep mid-wicket, and they're going to take on the arm here. A lot of work to do, and she makes it. Great running. Great running between these two.
It's a Rasta deal card out there, and she kind of just jogged into that ball. I don't think she thought they'd dare to take her on, but these Thai girls, they run really well. As you can see, she's picking it up as the batters, as Wangpaka is leaving the non-striker's end, and she's like a whippet through the crease.
Wangpaka plays and misses. Good comeback from Yasmin Khan there. Crucial dot ball at this stage of the game.
It's definitely the line to bowl to Wangpaka. She favours the leg side, so anything on the stumps, she's going to back herself to hit into that vacant leg side area. Probably try and come back for 2.
Wangpaka plays it away through. Square leg, piercing the gap. Deep mid-wicket comes round. Good work from her. Restricts it to 2. Great work on the boundary there.
I think she had a point to prove there, Arasta. She absolutely hared around from deep mid-wicket. Made sure that it was only 2, and it probably should have been 3, but fantastic return throw from her.
Well bowled, Yasmin Khan. Follows it up with a Yorker. Wangpaka can do nothing about that.
And she's certainly not someone a bowler you're going to take on for that single. Very athletic in the field, leads from the front in terms of her fielding, and a really great competitor. So Thailand doing a good job here. They've moved on to 74.
Oh, down the leg side, wide signalled. Yasmin Khan disappointed with that one.
Well, it's been a bit of a theme in this innings that there's a wide bowled on the last ball of the over, and then what happens next?
Could that happen again? I'm sure she'll be hoping for it. They do need a wicket here, Namibian, just to stem the flow of runs. Played down to long off, well played. Putting pressure on the fielder. They'll settle for 1. It's the end of the 17th over. Partnership now moving along to 38. Score 76 for 6.
So 3 overs to go. If they can get 6 singles in those overs, then the score is looking a lot healthier than they might have thought. So there we have Sornerin, Tipoch and Wongpaka having a good run at the end here. A partnership of 39 so far. They started off slowly. There were a lot of dot balls at the beginning of their innings, but they've managed to catch up a little bit. Still probably not the strike rate they'd like, as Irene van Zeel comes back.
Yeah, I think they played the situation really well. Took time to consolidate after losing some quick wickets, and they find themselves in a decent position going in with 3 overs to go. Well bowled again by Irene van Zeel. Dot ball.
So you just see Sine Wittmann warming up at extra cover there, so it looks like she's going to be coming back from the far end.
Chipped away, too long on. Just going to be the one. Good throw in there. Sylvia Sheherpur. She's been good on the boundary today. I think she still has one up her sleeve as well, so the skipper will be looking to her to close off this innings. Irene van Zeel continues. Played away by Tipoch. It's a no ball signalled by the umpire. They've taken on the arm and they made it. Good running. Gets the skipper back on strike, and it's going to be a free hit here.
I don't think I've ever seen that in international cricket. Irene van Zeel has decided to come around the wicket without letting the umpire know. And of course, you have to tell the umpire if you're going to stay, if you're going to change your bowling action. So immediately as she bowled the ball, while there was a gap between the stumps and the non-striker Wongpaka, umpire Eloise Sheridan, that's a tough one on your debut at international cricket, has signalled a no ball. So a free hit here. They are changing the field.
That was quite remarkable. She continues. Well bowled into the wicket and flayed away. Well, the skipper just the single. Score moves along to 81. Thailand will be very happy with the way they've recovered this innings. These two batters doing a sterling job for their team. Dugout seem far more relaxed. 2 balls to go in this, the 18th over. Flayed away too long on. Just the one. Again, good work from Sylvia Sheherpur on the boundary.
So she's coming around the wicket this time, announcing her change of action to finish out her 4 overs. Irene van Zeel. So tidy figures from her, but she'll want to make sure that she keeps them where they are.
It's wide and it's played too long off. Sornerin Tipoch, just a single. Takes her score to 27. And that's the end of Irene van Zeel's spell. 4 overs, 1 for 16. Beg your pardon, she's got 1 ball to go. So she comes in short, tight field at mid-wicket. Oh, and she just makes it back. That is the end of Irene van Zeel's spell. Top work from her. Experienced veteran.
So an unusual event happening in that over. Never seen it before myself, but you know, Irene van Zeel deciding at the last minute to come around the wicket hasn't let the umpire know. Eloise Sheridan immediately signalling a no ball as the ball's hit down to long on. And for anyone who doesn't know, when you're bowling, you must announce to the umpire what you're going to bowl. So you can't say it's going to be right arm over and then suddenly bowl left arm around. You know, the batter's entitled to know what they're going to face. So there we have it again from square on. Not a bad delivery, and Irene looks quite surprised. It does go for 2 though, and then the free hit, so it was an expensive ball.
Yasmin Khan, it's a loose delivery, and it's just gone over the extra cover fielder. Just going to be the single. It was borderline waist high full toss. Tipok will be disappointed she couldn't put that away.
Yeah, and conversely, Wittmann will be disappointed she didn't kind of read that it was going over her head. So both teams not happy with that delivery, and it wasn't a great ball or a great shot. So cricket definitely not the winner.
Coming back for the second, the skipper's taking on the throw. The umpire thinks about it, she's made it. Great running. Superb running, and the dugout are absolutely loving that.
And why wouldn't they? It was firmly hit down to long off, well picked up, well thrown in, and a good return to the stump. So absolutely lightning quick between the wickets there from their skipper, and she's making sure that she gives her team something to bowl at. A really close one here. Quick between the wickets, tapped in very quickly, and a good decision from Claire Polisak in the end. There's no rushing her. I really enjoy that about her umpiring. She takes her time to make sure she makes the right decision, and that's probably what's helped her get so far in the game.
Yasmin Khan bowls, hits her foot. Good stop in the end. Just going to be the one. And that brings up the 50 partnership between these two batters at a run a ball. It's been some effort.
Well, we kind of felt like we were waiting for this to happen all game, weren't we? With every incoming batter, I thought, right, this is going to be the partnership where Thailand kind of get themselves going. But it took until the 13th over really for them to get going. But they're motoring now.
Tipok flays away to the deep mid-wicket fielder. Wongpaka coming back. Pressure on, and the keeper's fumbled the ball. Costly fumble.
Nightmare return throw for the wicketkeeper there. You have to feel for her. Kayleen Green, she was completely yorked. You either want that over the top or you want it bouncing before the stump so you can take an easy return. And unfortunately, she's just fumbled it at the last second. The direction was good, the speed was good, but it was just the length of the throw wasn't right. So Thailand taking their chances here. It's not been their day in some respects, but they're making sure that they make themselves some luck.
Short, and it's played away to the leg side. Fielder under it, and she's dropped it. Another critical moment in this game. I think it's Didi Foster at square leg. She looked comfortable, got herself into a perfect position, and it just seemed to bobble out. Take another look at that. The skipper gets a short of a length. Tipok hits it into the air, and Foster gets under, just bounces out. 2 runs to the skipper. Play and a miss, well bowled Yasmin Khan. Good comeback. That's the end of the 19th. Thailand now 91 for 6.
So Thailand settling into this game here as Wittmann returns for her final, I think 3rd over, is it?
So Suno Wittmann back into the attack.
So a bit of a surprise here that Sylvia Shiheppo's not returning for her final over, but Wittmann it is.
And it's full toss played away to Sylvia Shiheppo at long on. Batters think about the second. Makes her ground, just a single. Yeah, that is a strange decision, you'd have to say. And probably a missed opportunity when they had Thailand reeling and Sylvia bowling so well up front, conditions really suiting her, and she's going to walk away with one left in the bank.
Yeah, fantastic figures of 3 for 8 from her 3 overs, so a real surprise. But sometimes as skipper, you've got your script in your head, and difficult to change it on the moment. But that's a wide from Wittmann. I think that's something that she'll regret after the game. I've done it myself in the past. You kind of come off and you feel like someone's bowling better or someone's bowling worse, but when you look at the figures, in fact, you've probably made a mistake or two. So maybe a message in a bottle to a boundary fielder would have been handy for the skipper, but you live and learn.
Wittmann bowls and it's played away. Great fielding on the boundary. Good running from the skipper, Tipok. Be happy with just 2 there, Wittmann.
Yeah, she's doing great work on the boundary there from Diergaard. Just that one time where they ran 2 to her where it probably should have been a single. Other than that, she's been pretty flawless out there on that boundary.
She certainly held her nerve. Some great diving stops. Slower ball from Wittmann, and it's worked away to the fielder at short fine leg. Just 1 to Tipok. Score now 95. Thailand approaching 100. 1 ball to go in this innings. Slower ball, play and a miss. And it's a dot ball to finish.
So a wide in that over means it will still have another delivery.
Another slower ball, and it's worked to the deep fielder at deep mid-wicket. Batter sends Wongpaka back, and she's made it. So the score will finish beg your pardon, there's still another delivery to go. That was Adri van der Merwe in the deep there again. Brilliant throw back to Wittmann at the bowler's end, almost creating a run out. Wittmann comes in again. It's another slower ball, and it's worked. Muscled away by Tipok. Come back for the second. And that is the end of the innings. So a brilliant fight back from Thailand, led by the skipper Sonoreen Tipok and Wongpaka. A great partnership of over 50 runs. They've set themselves up nicely in the first half of this game.
Yeah, partnership of 60 runs, really saving the Thai team there from Wongpaka and Sonoreen. Brilliant from them, and a few mistakes then laid on from Namibia means that they kind of let Thailand back in the game a bit, but Thailand showing their experience and Namibia a couple of times showing their inexperience at this stage.
Yeah, you'd have to say. Let's have a look at the batting summary. It was a tough start for the Thailand batters. Chantham and Chawai, brilliant yesterday against the Netherlands, putting on 76. However, it wasn't to be for them today. Shohaipur was lethal up front with the ball. So it was tough going. No real batters getting in at all until we got to Sonoreen Tipok and Wongpaka, who put on 60 runs in as many balls. It was a great effort from them to save this innings, and a real captain's knock, Isabel.
Yeah, brilliant to see the skipper leading from the front. It happens so often, doesn't it? And there we have the bowling summary. Some fantastic figures there. In particular, Sylvia Shohaipur had a great day. Three wickets for her, just 8 runs. Mystery why she only bowled her 3 of her 4 overs. Irene Van Sale also did really well, 1 for 16 from 4. So we'll have a look at the highlights of the innings. So Chatham started well on the first over against Whitman. She found the boundary twice in the first over. Dejected Whitman walking back to her mark. She bowled 2 wide. Chatham going on the back foot, throwing her hands at it and getting it through point.
And then we saw the first dismissal of the day. Chaiwai just playing across the line, caught her in front, and that produced Sylvia Shaherpo's first wicket.
And then it was Chatham who went next. She was caught early on after those 2 fours. That fantastic catch in the covers. Who could forget that one? Diving catch to the right.
Great work there from Adri van der Merwe. And then we saw the loss of Butticham's wicket. Again playing across the line. Sylvia Shaherpo with her probing straight line that we saw all morning. Another angle, just tying the batsman up.
And there was a little bit of a rally after that. Van Zyl came into the attack, and Chanida with a 4 there. Suturang, she looked $1 million when she came to the crease. And then they thought they had their woman. A no ball catch at square leg. A very good celebration, but it wasn't to be, unfortunately, for the Namibians. She was delighted with that catch, but it was adjudged a no ball, and rightly so.
And then Chanida lost her wicket. And Thailand were reeling at this stage. Again playing across the line to Arina van Zyl's straighter ball. She was delighted with that. And that mini collapse continued as Nanapat gave Moatile a simple caught and bowled chance. There was some deliberation from the umpires, but a good decision in the end. And at that stage, Thailand were in some deep, deep trouble.
And Nietzsche went a similar fashion. This one a bit clearer that it was an easy catch. An easy catch, an extra cover there from the skipper. And at this point, Thailand didn't really quite know where to look or where to go. Not quite sure why she came through that so early, but the Namibians happy enough to take the catch. And it was the skipper to come in and lead the recovery for Thailand. Sornaran Tipoch found the boundary on a number of occasions. It took her a while. Here she hits it, it came off the mat and moved sideways. A little bit unlucky for the square leg fielder there.
She really knew her areas to target. She played to her strength. Took her time to get in, but once she got going, she was pretty ruthless and played a few beautiful looking shots. That one over mid-on, couple of bounces for 4. She really led the way for this Thailand batting lineup and flayed that one through mid-wicket. A good effort from Bittman at mid-on.
And then we'd been speaking about how we hadn't seen them running their usual running between the wickets, and here we see them coming back for a 2. Fantastic running near the end of the innings from the Thai pair of Wangpaka and Sornaran Tipoch. And that brought the mistakes from the Namibians. Their fielding had been unbelievable. A first drop here for them over the head of Wittmann. She just didn't quite judge it. And then there were a couple of run-out chances missed. Good fielding in the deep, and the fielder throwing over the top. You can see there was a bit of a pause from the batter, and she just managed to collect it behind the stumps, Kayleen Green. And then one more drop to come. So the end of the innings a little bit ragged from the Namibians. An easy chance, you'd have to say, and a disappointing drop there.
So there you have the score. Thailand will be very happy with their recovery. 99 for 6 they finished on, and Namibia will be needing 100 runs to win this game in their 20 overs. So
Yesterday, USA took on Scotland. And let's have a look at those highlights. Seven-over match it was in Scotland.
Full bat.
Did the conditions play any part in that decision?
A little bit. I think if the ball's going to get wet at all, I think it'll be early on, but just want to get out there and put as much pressure on them as possible, try and get runs on the board and then defend well with the ball.
And what do you think is a par score for this seven-over game?
It's tough to tell. I think possibly somewhere around 50 odd. I think if we can get to there, that'd be good.
What would you have done if you'd won the toss?
Oh, we would have fielded first, so we got what we wanted for. Yeah.
Okay. And what would have made you field first?
Well, just knowing what we will be chasing, because it's a curtailed game, and I think just knowing the target helps us to go about our batting much more better. So it was just our first game in the tournament. All of us wanted to get out to the field together as a team, and I think that makes a difference to us.
good afternoon and welcome to a sunny Forfarshire Cricket Club in Dundee, Scotland for the third game of the ICC Women's World T20 Qualifier 2019. Steps back, works her way through the covers, and that is the first boundary of the day for Catherine Bryce.
Yeah, beautifully played through the covers there, Catherine. She recognised the length early on there and rocked back and played it really nice and laid under her eyes to make sure that she missed that cover fielder on the boundary.
It's big, it's straight. Great fielding. Great fielding prevents the boundary. Gone at it to mid-wicket and it's gone through. There may be two here. Four. Fit in. Sweep shot. Found the gap again and it's another boundary. Scotland racing away now.
The sound off the bat for that was just beautiful. Really great timing from Sarah Bryce. She didn't look to overhit it. She just made sure she got it in the gap and it raced away to the boundary.
And she's bowled her. Big wicket for the USA. Sarah Bryce looks to work that into mid-wicket and she's missed it. Claudine Beckford gets the first wicket for the USA today. Worked away to deep square. This could be another boundary. As well fielded. Just the two. Farouk again.
And that's just gone where the field has been taken out to go to fine leg. That's racing away to the boundary and point won't catch that. Should be eyeing up that vacant square leg area.
Oh, it's a wide. She's gone. Stumped. Great work from the keeper.
That's beautifully played through the covers. A full toss and an unusual shot through point. But it's raced away. She's got her hands through really well, and that's a boundary for Scotland. And I'd say that ball's getting a little bit wet at this stage.
Beckford in again. Great comeback. She's bowled a flatter one, slightly shorter, and a great celebration. Beckford in again. It's down the ground from Catherine Bryce. And it's a four. Beckford in again. Use of the feet, work through the covers again by Catherine. And she's found the gap, it's another boundary.
Yeah, she's just played that so beautifully there. Wrists coming through at the last minute, making sure that it goes wide at that long on fielder.
Much flatter that time, and it's work to cover. Welcome back to Forfarshire Cricket Club. If you do want to see the rest of those highlights, make your way to the official ICC website. We'll be streaming highlights of all the games played at Forfarshire Cricket Club. Back here, Namibia have it all to do, chasing 100. 20 overs after a good batting display by the Thailand batters.
So Janita to open the bowling. And she strikes with her first ball. That one's gone straight through the defences. Her in-swing, too much for Andre van der Merwe. Disappointment for her as she just plays the wrong line and clips that one through to her stumps.
And that's an absolutely perfect start for Thailand. A wicket with the first delivery of the innings, putting the pressure straight onto the Namibians. Kayleen Green comes to the wicket. Maybe a 0 for 1. One ball gone.
So just the start that Thailand will have wanted. They didn't have the start. Well, they started okay in the first over of their batting innings, but second over was when the rot started to kick in. So they'll want to make sure that they have a flawless bowling innings here. Slip goes in.
Short of a length, and Green plays that down to short third man region. She gets off the strike, strike straight away. Pittman, the other opener.
So things a little bit frantic here, but Pittman taking her time to face up to the third ball of this innings. Expecting some in-swing, hopefully.
Short of a length from Chanita. Pulled away by Pittman. No real connection there. Run rate required, touch over 5. Maybe they'll want to keep up with that for as long as they can. They try and chase down this total of 99 set by Thailand. Chanita continues from the nursery road end. Short again, a little bit of movement off the deck back into Whitman. Good fielding.
So she's in a good vein of form, Chanita. She won player of the match in their game yesterday against Netherlands with her 3 wickets for 5 runs in 2 overs. So vicious in-swing, you can see it on the ICC website as well. Brings it back in a huge amount. So Andre van der Merwe, you'd have to think, would have seen that and be expecting the in-swing, but still seemed to take her by surprise quite how much it moved.
Movement again, sliding down leg side, stifled appeal. Whitman looked quite surprised at how much that did swing back. Wasn't in a position to play down the line. Chanita doing a good job in the opening over of this innings.
Sometimes there can be a little bit of a surprise when you face a bowler very unlike anything you face in your own country. So possibly the Namibians, as you've seen their attack, there's not a huge amount of swing bowling, so they're not quite prepared for it. Lucky to get an inside edge there, Whitman. You think that they would have been turning around and asking umpire Claire Polisak if they could have another wicket in that over, as that finishes the first, and Namibia are 1 for 1.
Perfect start for Thailand as they begin their defence of 99. You have to say that partnership between Juan Packer and the skipper Sonorine Tipok certainly shifted the momentum in their favour. It's all for Namibia to do now. The tyre will be coming on from the pavilion end.
The all-rounder will be disappointed with how she went with the bat, so no doubt wants to make up for it with the ball. Straight away asking Eloise Sheridan, and again a wicket with the first ball of bowler's innings. Quite flat, and Green just looks to play across the wicket and she's adjudged LBW by Eloise Sheridan.
Perfect start for Natalia. Look at the Thailand team. They pumped up. Second wicket in the second over. Exactly what the coach would have asked for it at half time. Very disciplined start from them. Very tight lines, asking the Namibians to play across the line. Let's take a look at it again. Oh, that's hitting Midland leg. Good decision from the umpire. Bowler will be absolutely delighted, as will the skipper. Deciding to open with the off spinner. Tough start here for Namibia. They're 1 for 2.
So Petra Enright makes her way to the crease.
Yesterday's top scorer in their game against Ireland.
So Natalia Buchatam is the number 20 all-rounder in the world. So often you see those all-rounders, if they don't do it with the bat, they want to make sure that they do it with the ball, and she's showing that she's up for the fight today.
Again, flat, forces. That's run to the back foot.
We saw how difficult it was to play the slower seamers from the Namibian team. So spin is probably going to be very difficult to face for the Namibians out here. Kind of flat, good length. You can't, nothing you can drive, but you can't go back, as we saw from that wicket.
Bowled again. Petra Enright can only defend. Back to the bowler. And Thailand certainly have a lot of spinners in their attack, so that's certainly going to suit them, isn't it?
Yeah, they're not short of a few spinners, the Thai team. Lots of left arm and right arm options for them.
Bowls and defended again. Another dot ball.
Good straight bat there was the difference between the batter who's been dismissed and Enright.
Lutia back to the bowler. Again, another dot ball. Great control shown by Natalia in her opening over here. Slight variation. Happy to flight it up when she needs to. She looks to close her first over.
Clipped into the leg side, that's missed the mid-wicket fielder. There is a fielder out there at deep mid-wicket who comes in and keeps it to a single. That brings about the end of the second. Namibia moved to 2 for 2. So challenging times for them. We did mention that bowling was their strength, that they would feel more comfortable out in the field. They were fantastic in the field, bar a few mishaps. Plenty of entertainment out there, but it seems to be that batting is where they kind of fall down a little bit, and where they'll want to work and for the next tournament like this.
It will be Chanita to continue from the nursery road end with her canny in-swing bowling.
Some lovely words of encouragement from the Namibians in the dugout. A nervous looking bunch. I'm sure they'll want to do a good job and show what they can do out here.
It's a wide delivery from Chanita.
The rare one that doesn't swing back.
They want to keep their discipline here, the Thailand bowlers. Started very well. Set the standard for their 20 overs in the field.
Perhaps that wide one's the one that paves the way for the one that comes back in. Oh, or just another wide one to make sure.
Got away with that one, possibly. A nice smile on Chanita's face. She's enjoying it out there.
A very serious look on Petra Enright's face. She's out there for the long haul, you feel.
Big job to do between her and Sune Wittmann. Really need to knuckle down here. Give Namibia a platform to enable them to have a go at this chase later on in the innings. Is there a nick? And the finger goes up, it's out! That's the third Namibian wicket. And Chanita gets her second. Petro Enright, foot seemed to be stuck on the crease there. Flayed at it, got a nick and the finger went up.
Not her usual style of wicket there, Chanita, but she'll take it nonetheless. A wider one, quite short there to hit, you'd have to say. It's a disappointment for Enright as she has to make her way back for just one. And that brings the skipper Yasmin Khan, number 10, to the crease. And can she do a similar job to the Thai captain, Sornarin Tipoch? So another wider delivery, doesn't come back really, but gets a bit of bounce, and that draws the cut shot that sees the end of Enright, who has to leave for one. Disappointment for her after a good innings yesterday when she made 20.
Yasmin Khan takes guard, skipper of the Namibian team. Plenty of work for her to do, coming in the third over, 3 wickets down. This isn't the situation she would have hoped for. Take strike, Chanita in. Short of a length, play and a miss. Again, the footwork seemed to be just stuck on the crease.
I think this extra bounce that Chanita's managing to get from the wicket surprising the Namibians, particularly Khan, who bowled from the same end with a slingier action and got the ball to kind of skid through. So they weren't really expecting that extra bit of lift, but the ball is new and Chanita's bowling it into the wicket. So they've put in a slip.
Fuller defended. Nicely played, Yasmin Khan. Not going to get through that defence. She pushes that to cover. Up to her, yeah, to really try and build a platform. And if you look at the way skipper for Thailand played, Sornarin Tipoch, she was happy to soak up dot balls initially. Found the going a lot easier towards the back end of the innings.
And defended again. Sometimes when you know you have it in the locker, you can afford to block and soak up a bit of pressure by blocking out an over or two. That's certainly what it seemed like from Sornarin Tipoch. She knew she could accelerate if she was at the crease, if she could get going. So the question is, does Yasmin Khan have the same kind of armoury behind her? Does she have her boundary scoring areas, and will she run as well with Wittmann and the players coming behind? Another solid defensive shot there from Yasmin Khan. That's the end of another productive over for Thailand. 3 overs gone, Namibia 3 for 3.
Quick change in the middle. Thailand fielders happy to buzz around here. Keep applying the pressure on the Namibians. Natalia continues from the pavilion end. Very good first over from her. Persistent line and length. Happy to bowl it into the wicket, but also just as happy to give it a bit more flight.
So from early signs from Wittmann is that she likes to hit the ball hard, and it'd be interesting to see how she plays against the spin of Buchatam here.
Flat into the wicket again. Mid-wicket. A sign of what we can expect, I think, from these Thailand fielders. Electric in the ring.
Electric in the ring and electric around the ring. They move fantastically well, these Thai fielders. It's extremely difficult to get any singles, and you really have to get it past them. And she's done just that there, Sune Wittmann. kind of clubbed down to long on. Not the prettiest shot, but effective on that occasion.
Yasmin Khan back on strike. Yet to get off the mark. Flighted up from Natalia. Well played, well fielded. Got ball.
Good questions being asked here by Natalia. Doesn't just stick to one ball, she changes it up quite a lot. That one flighted a bit more. No doubt we'll see a flatter one coming soon.
It's taken by the keeper, loud appeal. Without the signal. Great work by the keeper behind the stumps. Good footwork. Nanapat behind the stumps. Great work from her. Again, played away to mid-wicket off the inside edge. Natalia knowing exactly what she's doing here. Bowling to her field, no width on offer. Forcing the batsman to do something. Again, defended to mid-off, no run. Another very, very tidy over from Natalia. She's bowled 2, 1 for 2. That's the end of the fourth. Namibia, 4 for 3.
Yeah, so that's a sign of pretty much what's to come from Thailand. They have a lot of spinners, as we mentioned earlier. They're very good at just keeping it on a spot. Little small changes in pace, a little bit of flight here and there, but mostly flat. And then their fielding just backs them up superbly. Really, really difficult to get away from them, and this wicket will suit them. As the skipper, Sunaran Tipok, comes on from the nursery road end.
Again, right arm off spin. She certainly did it with the bat earlier on this morning. Can she do it with the ball as well? Leading from the front for her team. Holden's chipped away over mid-wicket into the vacant area there. Thinking about 2. Good fielding, strong arm. Just settle for the 1. Yasmin Khan not interested in coming back for that second. Sunaran Tipok, good start for her. Nicely flighted, a little bit of grip. It's loopy and it's played away to deep mid-wicket. Just the single.
Disappointing shot there from Yasmin Khan. She got a rare loose one and just chipped it to the fielder on the boundary there. I think if you're going to get one of those from Tipok, you've got to put it away.
Flatter, wider, cut away. Oh, she's missed out there. Shanae Whitman, she'll know it. The ring is up on that offside, and anything either side of the field or there, it's a boundary. She'll be disappointed with that.
So an unusually loose first over here from Sunaran. Usually able to land it on a time. That's more like it. A good length, trying to draw the batter down, see if she can get a catch in the deep. She's got a long on out there, ready to take a catch, no doubt one of her best catches.
Ball again. Can't do anything with that length. Plays it away to the fielder at cover. No run.
So even though it's not up to her usual standard, the first few balls, she's only gone for 2 so far, with one to bowl.
Played down to long on. Again to her field, so just the 1. And Tipok's first over. The 5th of the innings. Namibia, 7 for 3. Isabel, 5 overs gone. What do you make of this Thai fielding display, bowling display so far? Looks pretty organised.
Yeah, it's pretty much what you can expect from Thailand. They're kind of death by 1,000 cuts. They'll just put the ball in a good area. Aside from a couple of seam bowlers that can move the ball, they generally bowl slow spin. They'll just ask lots of questions of you, and their fielding is just superb. It's very, very difficult to run twos or to get the ball through the field. You really can't take them on in the ring like they would have done near the back end of their innings. Super quick in the field, and they put themselves under a lot of pressure to perform at that standard every single game. Very rarely will you see a mistake or a drop catch, and that's where they kind of set themselves above other teams in this tournament.
As you say, that control and discipline, the required run rate already up at close to a run a ball. So all for the Namibians to do, as Chinida has changed ends, interestingly. She comes back for a third from the pavilion end. Good start. Why do you think the skipper has decided for the change of end here for Chinida?
She didn't look happier last over, did she? She was bowling a little bit too short, wasn't getting much movement, and I think from the cheer that we heard out there, she must have got some movement in towards the batter. So happier bowling from this end. Maybe there's a little bit of a breeze or something that's helping her, but you know, sometimes bowlers can just be a bit precious, and she didn't fancy that end. So move me around, Skip. I'm the big deal in this team.
Balls again. It's well played, and it's got through. It's going to be the first boundary of the innings. Namibia, Sune Whitman. She's muscled that away past the fielder at mid-on. Lovely shot from her.
Yeah, it's really well played by Whitman. So Sutarang will be pretty unhappy with that. It was a little bit too full, but usually you can trust to that doing the job for you, and it's just been kind of muscled down through long on by Whitman.
Full toss there. Whitman looks across the square leg umpire. She's not having any of it. Just a dot ball.
And she's slightly taller than most of the Thai girls, so a bit more difficult to bowl her a no ball than it would have been in the first innings. So a little bit wayward from Chinida here. Probably that 4 made her change things up a little bit.
Short and pulled away again. That's going to be another boundary. Whitman looking good here. Chinida again not happy about something.
So she's wondering where she can find a fielder, I think, to have an extra one in the leg side. Tipoch asking third man to come across, I think. But you'd have to think that the skipper might just say, look, it's a bad ball. It's going to go for a boundary. Any good batter's going to put that away. So you've got to bowl back on your normal line and length, and things will be all right.
Chinida continues. 2 boundaries already off this over. On the outside edge, that's better. That's a good length. From what we've seen all day, very difficult to score off that length.
Yeah, she's back on the money there, Chinida. She'll be walking back to her mark. I think she looks a little cross with herself. I don't know what the conversation she had with her skipper was, but nothing changed after that those couple of boundaries. An expensive over from Chinida here, the most expensive so far today. Whitman just hitting her stride.
Oh, she's got a absolute beauty of a delivery. Chinida swinging it back into middle stump. It's out the ground. She's got Whitman. Lovely wicket there for Chinida. Namibia 15 for 4.
Really disappointing from Whitman there. She just got a little bit greedy. 2 boundaries so far this over. She got an in-swinging Yorker, and she still tried to give it a whack. I think that's kind of the way she plays, but nonetheless, sometimes you've got to recognise the situation and say, I've just got to stay in for my team. Straight in through the gate. Difficult one at the best of times, sort of solid forward defence probably would have been the order there.
And she's straight over to her skipper with the big high five. She'll be absolutely delighted with that. Good comeback. The over had gone for 2 boundaries already. She finished it nicely. Take another look at that. Good follow up, nice and full, let it swing. Pittman playing across the line. Chinita gets the reward. Skipper delighted with that.
Yeah, so just as they look like they're going to get going, another wicket falls for Namibia. And they're going to need to get a partnership together here if they're going to have any chance of making a run at this game. Namibia. So Yasmin Khan facing up again, and it's Irene van Zyl who's joined her at the crease.
Worked by Yasmin to mid-wicket, no run.
So the diminutive Suliporn comes on to bowl from the nursery road end.
Another canny off spinner, flat into the wicket, doing the job for the Thai today. Apologies, leg spinner. Coming out flat. Let's see if she can get some grip off the surface. Oh, it's kept low. Missed by the keeper. Ominous signs though for the Namibians. That's looking tough out there.
Very difficult bowler to face, Suliporn. She's coming from such a small height and it just kind of skids through. Not a huge amount of turn for her, and as we saw there, sometimes not getting a huge amount of bounce, so difficult to get away.
And again, it's a play and a miss. Yasmin Khan. Great start here for Suliporn. No runs off her first over. And that rate constantly climbing. Pressure certainly on the Namibians.
Yeah, Suliporn doing a great job for her team, just getting it through. Better length there for her. And I think that if I was Yasmin Khan, I'd be thinking, right, I'm not getting any bounce here. I'm going to stop going on my back foot. I'm going to step forward and treat it like it's throwdowns. You know, it's not going to get above knee roll. Just got to play it with a straight bat and strongly down the ground.
Use of the feet. Diving stop by Suliporn, and she prevents the single. That's the end of the over. A maiden over. Great job, great start from her. Namibia, 15 for 4, 7 overs gone.
So at the moment, Namibia not able to find any answers to the question of how you play spin on this track. It doesn't seem to matter what length you bowl, it's difficult to get away. But Irene van Zyl is a canny operator, played in the Namibian team for a long time now, so she'll want to put on a partnership with her skipper. She did a job in the middle overs for her team with the ball, and she'll be looking to do the same with the bat here. So we've Anicha coming on for her first over. A right arm seamer. According to the stats anyway, although it looks like she's going to pull some more off spin by her action, so apologies for that.
Again, she'll be looking to bowl to her field. Long on, deep mid wicket. Only 2 out. Flats, nicely bowled, a little bit of grip. Mid wicket surging in on that one.
Not huge turners of the ball, Thailand, so I think that's something that people can look at as a positive or a negative. You don't have to worry too much about the turning ball.
More flight there from Anicha. Played back by Van Zyl.
So lots to do here for Namibia. They're already into their 8th over and they've only reached 15 with the loss of 4 wickets.
Bit wider by Nietzsche. Played away nicely to mid-off, but no run again from Van Zyl. Needs to work out where her release options are here against Anicha. Balls again, good line and length. Probing away, no width on offer. Again, good start here from Anicha. It's 10 dot balls in a row and the pressure is mounting.
So looking forward from this game, we've got another fantastic match. Oh, I was
Yep.
almost a wicket, but they'll come through for a single. Rather fortuitously. We've got another match this afternoon. Ireland taking on the Netherlands in the second game of this group for the day. Really important match there. Ireland going in with one win, and Netherlands with 1 loss. So the group working its way out. Top 2, of course, going through to semi-finals.
Flights it, Yasmin plays it away. The inside edge out to deep mid-wicket. That is the end of the over. 17 for 4, 8 now gone. Isabel, you'll be looking forward to that game this afternoon. Ireland seem in good form, although we know Netherlands can be dangerous with a few key players.
Yeah, just having a look from overseas, of course, at the quadrangular that took place recently in the Netherlands. It's been a little bit up and down for Ireland. I know they've been trying some things out with their lineup and trying to figure out what their best lineup is. So that perhaps that's come into it a little bit, but they either kind of hit their straps and hit a massive score, or they've had a few poor performances with the bat. So it'll be interesting to see how they go against Netherlands.
Sally Pong continues. Fuller from her. Played away to mid-wicket. Yasmin can't do anything with that. Another dot ball. Pressure still building here.
So Netherlands are the other team, of course, and they've got Ster Callis, who scored 126 earlier in the year against Germany in their qualifiers they played to get here.
Away. It's another dot ball.
She's an exciting talent that we'll be looking out for, and no doubt a prize wicket for the Irish girls. So lots to play for. Thailand looking like they'll probably come through with 2 wins at this stage. Namibia with 2 losses.
Dot ball, wobbled by Sally Thorne. You mentioned Ster Callis, and I know you've played a bit with her out in Australia. What do you make of her? She's obviously still very young, but she's one of the names in women's cricket.
Yeah, she's an exciting batter. Still really young, as you said, turned 20 just before the tournament started. A bit of aggression shown from Canham. A rare misfield from the Thai fielder down there. That's Soraya Leita. And yeah, so Ster is a beautiful batter to watch. Very good down the ground, loves to play spin. Likes to play aerial as well, but you know, at the same time very aggressive, so sometimes can be a little bit vulnerable early in her innings. So that's something that Ireland will want to, you know, make sure that they get her out early.
Oh, that's close. Playing a miss from Van Zyl. Yep, should be an absolute cracker. Let's hope the weather stays good. There is some cloud cover drifting in here. Hopefully it stays dry for that game, starting at 2 p.m.
Yeah, you can just see the Namibians and the Thai that are in their dugouts here, starting to huddle up under some jumpers and towels and things. It's another short ball. Another short ball there, bottom edge from Van Zyl, and that brings about the end of the 9th. The score is 18 for 4.
Thailand in full control now. So take a look at the weather that is coming in for Fisher Cricket Club. I'm hoping it'll stay away. There is a chance of some showers this afternoon. Hopefully not enough to prevent a game. Game, of course, between the Netherlands and Ireland, which we're very much looking forward to as Onicha continues. Yasmin Khan works that way down to long on, just the single.
Yeah, she's starting to look like she wants to attack now, Yasmin Khan. That's a couple of times she's come down the track. Doesn't look like her natural game really, and not surprising, there's not much spin in her team, so not a lot for her to practice against, but good signs from her.
Lighted up by Nietzsche. Again, well bowled. Tanzel can't do much about that. That's another dot ball. She's 1 off 8. Yasmin Khan 4 of 21. So the going is slow.
These two have been together for 20 balls so far, just the 4 runs. It's hard to tell where Irene van Zijl's scoring options are. Not a huge amount of intent from her.
Flatter from Nietzsche. Van Zijl looks to come down the wicket. She's thinking about her release here. Where can she get a boundary? I think she's eyeing up that offside. Field is up there. Plenty of protection on the leg side boundary for Anicha. Played back straight to bowler. Anicha doing a fantastic job here. She's almost through her second. Only conceded 3 runs.
Yeah, it looks like Van Zijl wants the ball on the back foot. She looked more comfortable rocking back in the previous over. She didn't get much joy from it then, but Anicha making sure she comes forward most of the time. As you see here, Van Zijl moved back and then forward in that final delivery of the 10th over. So we're at the halfway mark in the innings, and Namibia is struggling a little bit at 19 for 4.
Ten overs to go. 81 required. Let's take a look at the match summary. Namibia 19 for 4, chasing Thailand's 99 for 6. They were in a lot of trouble early on before the rescue act of Sonorin Topin and Wong Paka. Saliporn continues. Use of the feet by Yasmin Khan. Good batting from her. Another single.
We spoke about it yesterday. At what point do Namibia just kind of accept their fate and maybe try and make sure that 2 of their middle order batters get a lot of time at the crease and face as many balls as they can and try and figure out the conditions here and where their scoring options are for their next game, and probably their most important against the Netherlands.
Nicely bowled. Saliporn dot ball. Tanzel can't do anything with that. Struggling to get it away here.
So Saliporn, after her first over, looking like she was struggling a little bit with gripping the ball, dragging it down a little bit, has bowled beautifully in her next 2. Bit more flight, good intent there from Van Zijl, down the track, and she takes a single.
Yeah, very impressive stuff here from Saliporn. Great control for a leg spinner. Never easy in any format of the game.
You can't quite tell from here just how small she is, but it's really impressive to me that she can get it so flat without looping it up and get it a good length.
Ball from her, worked away by Yasmin Khan. Gonna take on the arm here. Van Zijl running back to the bowler's end, and she makes it. Good effort on the boundary there. Taya working hard to try and save the extra run. Bit more intent here from Yasmin Khan. Down the wicket. Deep extra covers in the game. A bit of spin. They're not going to come back for 2. Good recovery out there.
Now she's come down. A little bit of turn has meant it's taken the outside edge and ballooned up over the infield, but the cover fielder on the boundary ran in, and even though it bounced and turned there a little bit, she's managed to keep it just one run. So Sealy Porn finishes her third over. She's gone for 6 so far. It's 11 gone. Namibia are 24 for 4.
That's the other thing with this spin heavy attack. They certainly fly through their overs, and before you know it, 11 overs have gone and we're only on 24. Certainly escalates that pressure very quickly.
So we have Ratana Porn coming on now. Another new bowler. And another spinner, it's looking like. So Khan looking a little bit more comfortable now. She struggled at the start to find her singles, but coming down the track seems to be working well for her.
Great fielding, and it's out. What a great piece of fielding. Throw was flat, straight over the bails. Keeper whipped them off. Batter short of her ground there. Irene van Zyl it was. Never really got going.
That is the diminutive leg spinner we've just seen bowling. Sealy Porn, who's sprinted around in point, got her feet around, and an absolute rocket arm straight over the top to the keeper means Irene van Zyl is heading back to the clubhouse. Disappointment for her, but and so that brings a new batter to the crease. It's Arasta Deerhart. Fielded well in the first innings. Lots for her to do.
Oh, that looks close, and the finger goes up. That's number 6 for Thailand. Brilliant bowling by Pandugat. She gets her first. That looked very, very out.
Yeah, not a lot of time to give that one out. Eloise Sheridan is straight on the toe, like a rocket, straight down. I'm still unsure as to what bowling we have here. Is it seam? Is it spin? It's very, very quick spin if it is, and I'm not sure it'll get a lot of grip if she does land it actually. But it's 2 wickets and 2 balls.
Is a short one. She's gone without scoring. Namibia struggling now. 24 for 6 in the 12th over. Spin really doing the job here for this Thailand team.
So Didi Forster comes to the wicket. She hopes to survive a team hat-trick ball.
Plays it away to point.
I'm pretty sure no one would be taking that on after the first ball of the over when that rocket arm got rid of Irene van Zyl.
Flat again, and it's played to long off. Just the one for first, and she's off the mark. Confident stroke from her.
I'm surprised that Thailand have that long off fielder out at this stage with the Namibians 6 down. You think they'd just turn the screw and keep the field nice and tight.
Playing a miss. Yasmin Khan. Ball by Tadunglat. And she's got her. Another wicket. Using her feet, Yasmin Khan. Playing across the line. It was flat again from Padunglat. Across the line and went on to hit middle and off. Good piece of bowling. It's been a great over from Padunglat. 2 wickets and a run out. Thailand turning the screw here. Very unforgiving.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed with that. The skipper, she would have wanted to try and get a respectable score on the screen for her team, but she came down and unfortunately she went across the line a little bit, and we've seen what that produces in the game so far. I'm not sure that going down the wicket was the way to go. Unfortunately, it was the bowling's so flat there, but brought about the end of the over, and we're into over number 13 now. It'll be the last one for Suliporn.
New batter is Wilka Watila. Good morning with the ball. Very economical.
A thick edge, and that's beaten the slip fielder. They'll chase it down to the boundary. It's not going to make it, but probably just a couple of runs for Didi Forster.
Well bowled again by Suliporn. Just a little bit of grip, a little bit more flight on that one. Reduced the drive, found the outside edge. First slip, thought she was in the game. Good signs for the leg spinner. Flatter from Suliporn. It's the pads going down leg. Nana Pats all over that. Dot ball for the Thai team.
So Suliporn without a wicket so far. She'll want to make sure that she finishes with one. This is their last over. That one's well played through the offside. She just rocks back there. Didi Forster cuts it through the offside.
And a very tardy spell here. Probably you would say deserves some reward. Very consistent. Good line and length. Been very difficult for the Namibians to work away, and boundaries certainly have been very difficult to come by.
Flatter again, cut through the offside by Motila. Just the single, well fielded on the boundary.
Good work by Wongpaka out there. She's been busy.
So Didi Forster probably looking the most comfortable so far out there of the Namibians. She's on 4 from 5. Again, a shorter ball, a thick outside edge goes past backward point. They look for 2. A good return throw, but not good enough. And she makes her ground there, Didi Forster.
Impressive intent from her from ball 1, and she's started well here. Run a ball, looking to score off the spinners, I think, has been her key.
Oh, that one's gone through extra cover. Well around from the deep cover boundary there, but it's 2 more runs. Wongpaka doing really good work out there. And that's the end of that over. A reasonably expensive one for Thailand, and Namibia moved to 33 for 7. That one's gone for 8 runs. And Suliporn finishes her 4 overs, 0 for 14. Namibia 33 for 7.
It will be Padunglat. We'll continue from the pavilion end. Flat off spin. Very effective first over. 2 wickets for herself. The team run out.
So these two move on to 8 runs from just 6 balls. A very successful partnership. That one just scoops up almost a chance in point there for Suliporn. Just scoots underneath her hands. It'll only be 1 run as that's cleaned up out from the cover boundary.
Twile wanted the second there. Vesta not interested. Well played by Motwile, just using the pace of Padunglat.
DD Forster to face up again.
Played back to the bowler, no run. Very difficult to get that away.
Her unusual technique, Forster, means that she's really only likely to score when it's outside off stump. Drops her hands right low as she plays the ball when it's straight, and very difficult to score any runs then when it's full and straight.
Canny bowling here from Padunglat. Wicket to wicket, stop forcing the batters to take risks in order to score. It's flat and it's flayed away into the covers. Extra covers there, no run.
It's remarkable really how quickly Thailand make it through their overs, isn't it? Short run-ups, very little extras.
Again, it's a straighter one and straight back to the bowler. First, can't do much about that. Which you would say has been the story of Namibian's innings.
I think they'll take heart from their fantastic bowling innings though, as that one's just clipped through the leg side by Forster. Just strayed a little bit in her line there. Padunglat, that's a chance, and that's going to be out. She takes a tumble Forster, and she'll be a little bit cross with her partner Motwile, who insisted on coming back for 2, and unfortunately that's the loss of another Namibian wicket. Forster was probably the most comfortable out there, so it's disappointing to see the end of her. With good fielding by the Thai team.
Again, impressive fielding. Throw 10-point accuracy straight into Nanapat's gloves above the stumps. She had very little work to do, whipping the bails off, finding Forster short of her ground. And again, that accuracy, pick up, throw, faultless, as has been the case for most of this Thai innings fielding display. A lot of skill on show here, and that was certainly a good example of that.
So good work from the keeper here. Certainly the right decision from Claire Polasak, an easy one in the end, and Forster's got to go for 9.
Brings the star bowler of the Namibian innings to the wicket, Sylvia Shashlepo. She's pulled her first ball away to deep mid-wicket boundary, off the mark. Apologies, that was Motwile whipping that one away. Shashlepo takes strike. Dot ball.
So the skipper brings herself back for another over. A heave into the leg side, but an effective one there from Sylvia, and she'll scamper through for a single. Unfortunately unable to get any real power into that.
Brings Motwile back on strike to face Thai skipper Sonarine Tipok, and she's going to come around the wicket. Keeps it up, it's in the air, it's not going to carry. Chance of it run out, well backed up. A scamper through for a single.
No doubt Sornarin learned from the first innings that she let the umpire know she was changing the angle of her bowling, that she was coming around rather than staying over.
Play and a miss by Sylvia. Good over here from Sonorin. Change of angle seems to have worked for her. Again, it's played off the outside edge. Good fielding in the cover. Direct hit. It's the accuracy we've been talking about. No run, and the end of Sonorin Tipok's second over. She's none for 6. It's 15 gone here. Namibia 38 for 8.
It's a bit of an opportunity here for Mwatile and Shehepo to have a bit of fun. Hopefully they take it on in the last 5 overs. Really strong bowling performance from Thailand here. Janita starting it off at the very first ball. She's taken 3 wickets, gone for just 10 in her 3. She's been backed up by every bowler. Ratanaporn Padunglaird being the next most successful there, 2 wickets for 3 runs.
Twila on strike, Onicha coming in. Seems to have missed everything. It's gone through. The keeper is chasing hard here. Diane, she brings it back. Great work from her. Wide signalled by the umpire. Seems to have missed everything on the way down.
Yeah, a rare loose ball there from Onicha. She's been on the money pretty much throughout. And actually, a surprise from behind the stumps there that Nana Pat didn't collect, because she's been very, very good behind there, very tidy.
Hold a bit of flight in that one, as worked away by Motile. The fielder in the deep. Long packer again.
I like the intent from these two. They look like they're willing to swing the arms and just take it on a little bit, have a bit of fun. A shorter one, that's well played with assurance to deep mid wicket. Just for a single though, as it's cleaned up in the deep. Good return throw.
And I think that's the way it should be. 43 for 8, there's 5 overs to go. Got to make a go of it, show some intent. Try and get their team closer, or as close as they can.
Bit of flight. That one's gone really high in the air. That's well struck there, and it doesn't quite make the boundary. One bounce. That's really well struck from Watile. Lovely to see the full swing of the arms. She didn't quite get all of it. It went very high in the air, but it's almost sailed over the boundary. Fantastic shot from her.
Lighted up by Anicha. You'd have to say it's probably the shot of the day for the Namibians. Beautifully played over the fielder at mid-off. Again, and she's lofted that again. There is a fielder this time. Comes round. Sylvia wants a second, but Montile not interested. Sylvia Sahela on strike now.
Well, she hopefully will try and get in on this action, give herself a chance of scoring her own boundary. But it's a good delivery, and she's unable to get underneath that one. Sylvia Shehepo.
Lighted up by Onicha. Look too long on. By Sylvia Shehepo. It's the 1 run, and it's 16 overs gone here. 49 for 8. Thailand looking to close the game now. Isabel.
Yeah, a good over from Namibia though. 10 from it. A couple of wides to start it off, and then some lofted shots. So good intent shown from them, and you wonder if they're kind of showing the top order how they can play, if they kind of play without a bit more fear. There's nothing really to lose, Namibia. So hopefully in the next game they might take that. Thailand earlier on today made it to 99 for 6, and it was looking unlikely that they'd get there earlier on. They fell to 40 for 6 early on, but it was a rally from Sornerin and Wongpaka that brought them up to 99. And now we have a new bowler. Nataya Buchatam returns and she just clips it up.
And it's taken. Brilliant catch, diving forward. Wasn't sure if that carried initially, but she's got her hands underneath that. Taken a very, very tidy catch at short mid-wicket. Nataya back into the attack and strikes immediately.
A rather muted celebration there. I myself thought it hadn't reached, but no doubt from the on-field umpires and no doubt indeed from any of the Thai players. So a disappointing end from an entertaining innings there from Sylvia Shehepo. So a good catch there from Chantam means that Namibia are 8 down. An inside edge there. They'll scamper through and just about make it. A good single there. Good intent from Motile. She's been keen to take on the fielder. She backs herself. And you just wonder if she knows whether her partner will make it to the other end all the time.
Thailand, you can feel, sense the victory. Closing in here on the Namibians. They've been fantastic today. Nataya continues. Played back by Motile. Defended. Dot ball.
So Namibia now 9 down. An appeal, but I think that she's hit the ground there. Appeal for a cut behind, and Claire Polisak has not moved. Watile is joined there by Hamuniela, who's just scampered through for a single. She's at the non-striker's end and looks pretty comfortable down not facing.
Flighted up by Nataya. Matile's pulled it away. One bounce to the fielder. She's coming back for the second and she'll make it comfortably. Again, not afraid to throw caution to the wind here. She's been up for the fight all day, I think.
Yeah, she's certainly got the backing of her teammate in the sideline, and why wouldn't she? She's been entertaining from the moment she's come in. She's made a good 12 from 10 balls so far, and she just wants to see how far she can take them.
Flatter again from Nataya. Play and a miss. So dot ball, end of Nataya's third over. She's 2 for 5. 17 overs gone, and Namibia 52 for 9.
So a good wicket in the end, a very good diving catch there in mid-wicket by Chantam. Known for their fielding, so no surprise there, and certainly didn't look like it was any surprise to her that she took such a good catch. She just stood up and threw the ball back to the bowler as if it was nothing.
Captain Tipok to continue from the pavilion end. New batter Hamuniela on strike. Then it's a play and a miss. Good take again from Nanapat. She's been very tidy behind the stumps all day, you'd have to say. Worked away. There's not a fielder under there. Chipped into the gap. Just a single. Our fielders thought that was it.
They quite surprisingly have long off and long on out on the boundary for the number 11 batter, so I'm not sure what they know that we don't, but I'm certainly bringing them up.
Slightly fatter, and it's cut away. Good work, good feet again. Sully Porn, I think it is, at the point region.
Yeah, they're lucky there that wasn't collected, because she read that as soon as Motile moved back, she was already on her way. Sully Porn, fantastic point fielder, really good anticipation from her, but a slight fumble means that Hamaniela has made it to the other end. Full toss played into mid-wicket. They're taking a single, and it's fumbled by Sornerin. Very poor throw there, and an unusual one from the mid-wicket fielder. She apologises to her captain. And it is Chantham who's taken that fantastic catch last over, so I think she'll be disappointed with that. Some running repairs for the batters, fixing their pads and their gloves. They intend to be there for the duration.
Let's hit the pads, loud appeal. Not out, says the umpire. Shy at the stumps. Nana Pats, and well backed up. Scamper through for the leg bye.
More issues with the pads here, so the skipper Tipotch being made to wait as she looks to finish out her third over. She's gone 0 for 9 in her 3, very miserly, but no wickets as of yet. She'll want to rectify that stat. Namibia 56 for 9.
Rolled it nicely again and played away to cover. No run. Sonorin Tipoch, 3 overs, none for 9. 18 overs gone and 56 for 9.
And so we enter this final stages of the game, just 2 overs to go. Namibia have never really got going with the bat. 18 overs and only 56 runs. Really good bowling from Thailand there. Chanida leading the way, 3 for 10. Padung Laird 2 for 3, and Nataya 2 for 15. Sully Porn unlucky not to take a wicket, 0 for 14. And wide to begin the over for Nataya. So searching for that wicket, trying to bowl straight and just straying a little bit. Looking for her third victim of the day.
Flat from Nataya. It's not going to be wided. She's been very impressive today. Very canny off spin. Change in pace, change in flight. Always one step ahead of the batter. Big player for this Thai team. Flighted again. Cover comes in. That's Wong Paka. Good energy from her in the latter stages of this game.
So third ball of the over. This one a little bit straighter outside off. Well fielded again by Sully Porn. A sound there was Motile just hitting her pad, but I don't think Thailand really thought it was out.
I must apologise to our viewers, a slight error with our graphics. I don't know if you've seen the writing that Thailand has won. That's an error. It's how many Namibia need rather to win the game. So apologies, we are working on that. Another very good piece of fielding there. Direct hit. It's what you come to expect with this Thailand fielding outfit. Been so good all day.
So Victoria Hamunyela, can she survive this final delivery? A solid defence from her. She's happy to just stay out there and bat with Watile, give her an opportunity to face the last over. So that's 19 gone. Namibia are 58 for 9.
And that's a superb spell from Nataya. 4 overs, 2 wickets for 7 runs. She certainly could have had a few more wickets as well. So she'll be very happy with her contribution to today's game. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of her throughout this tournament.
It will be Suturang to finish out her spell. She's been fantastic today. 3 wickets so far. She hasn't looked comfortable all the time, but when she's got it right, it's been extremely difficult for the Namibian batters, and she's got through the defences a number of times.
Short and wide. It's called wide by the umpire. Yeah, I'm sure she'd be the first to admit it's not been her most consistent display of bowling, but sometimes you have those days where you seem to pick up wickets when you're not bowling at your best, and vice versa. So she'll take that, I'm sure. 3 wickets already in the game.
She looks like her hands are just a little bit cold throwing the ball from one to the other. That's better. A flaying shot over extra cover, that's well. She just left onto the opportunity to hit that over the waiting skipper, T20, who was unable to reach it as it went over her head.
Toss from Chanita, it's gone straight up, and that's it. That's the game. That's the final wicket. Chanita finishes with 4, and Thailand, comfortable victory in the end. It wasn't looking good at the first stages of the game, but they fought their way back, led by the skipper. She's done a fantastic job today, and another very, very good victory for Thailand.
You have to feel for Namibia. They were fantastic in the first half of that game. They bowled superbly, and some of their fielding was absolutely outstanding, but Thailand are a professional outfit, and they just showed that professionalism with the way that they came back. Just full toss. How often does that happen? You hit a nice shot the previous ball, you get the terrible high full toss and unable to get rid of it there. Mwatile, a disappointing end for her, but she's batted well for her 16. And Thailand, smiles on faces, a bit of relief no doubt after a shaky start, as we've alluded to. T20, a good game for her. She's been the match winner really there. She really stuck at it, tough at the start, lots of dot balls, but she fought through and made sure that she was there at the end to cash in the last 5 overs.
Yeah, brilliant display from the skipper, leading from the front. And you have to say, a very professional performance in the second half there, both with the ball and very well supported in the field. I think it's been a very, very good display by this Thai team. Well skippered, some good bowling changes. As the Thailand team thank the support around the ground, good to see. They look. As Isabel makes her way to the presentation ceremony. Thank you, Isabel, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I look forward to the next match between the Netherlands and Ireland.
Very happy Thailand team leave the field. So they're 2 from 2 now, sitting pretty top of the table. Skipper, coach support staff will be very happy. As we take a look at how the match unfolded, Thailand batted first, won the toss. Found themselves in a bit of trouble early on, and it was Sonarine Tipok, the captain, and Wongpaka, who worked hard to dig them out of trouble. Did a fantastic job posting 99 for 6 in their 20 overs. Sylvia Shehepo, the pick of the Namibian bowlers, she bowled 3 overs, took 3 wickets for 8 runs. Quite surprisingly had 1 over left in the tank that wasn't used. Namibia in their chase never really got going. Matuila made a good effort of it in the end, but wasn't enough. Janita, superb up front, she took a wicket with her first ball and finished off proceedings. Finished with 4 for 13. Well supported by Pandulgat, 2 overs, 2 for 3, and Nataya was absolutely superb. Her 4 overs, only conceding 7 runs with 2 wickets. Sally Pawn with her leg spin, also very, very impressive. I'm sure we'll see more of her throughout the tournament. Her 4 overs, only conceding 14 runs. So there you have it. Thailand win the match by 38 runs, and they'll be a very, very happy team. Iris van der Merwe, her first wicket. Swinging back, didn't quite read that. Chanita, there we go again, deceiving the batsman. She was superb throughout her spell. Again, some canny. The wicket of Kaylin Green. And they're just straight in front. Umpire had not much thinking to do there. This was the dismissal of Enright. Feet stuck on the crease. Simple nick through to the keeper. He was very tidy throughout the day, Nanapat. And then a bit of a fight. A lovely straight driven boundary there from Sune Whitman. And another pull shot. When you thought Namibia might be just getting into the game, in the same over, Whitman deceived by a Chadina beauty in swinging into middle and leg. Thailand absolutely delighted at that stage. There you see, so happy, and the skipper as well. Then the dismissal of Van Zyl. A run out again, some electric fielding it was from Sally Pawn at point. Keeper whipping off the bails, and she was well short of her ground. And at this stage, Namibia were reeling, doing anything they can to build some sort of partnership. And then it was the skipper, Yasmin Khan, coming down the wicket and missing a straight one. She found it tough going. And then another run out for the Thai team. 10-point throw. And the keeper did some good work. Batsman well short of her ground. Again. And then there was a last flurry. It was Moatile and Sylvia Shehepo making a good go of it. Shehepo was the next to go. Next to go, and it was a good catch by the diving fielder at mid-wicket. Chantham it was, very casual. And then it was Oatile, the last batsman to go. A good catch by the skipper to finish off proceedings, and Thailand will be absolutely delighted. And it's time to join Isabel down at the post-match presentation.
Hello and welcome to Forfisher Cricket Club
for the ICC Women's World T20 Qualifier. This is match 5 between Thailand and Namibia, and Thailand have come out victorious. I'm joined by Graham LeBroy, who's going to be presenting the Player of the Match award. And for her four wickets for 17 runs from 4 overs, it's Chanida.
Straight at the camera, Chanida, hold that one. And again.
So you just joined me here, Chanida, and I think we've got your translator here.
Yeah.
A fantastic performance from you guys today. It was a lot of pressure on for you when you only made 99, but you took it with your first ball.
รู้สึกกดดัน
รู้สึกกดดันนิดหน่อยแต่ว่าคิดว่าแต้มขนาดเราสามารถคุมอยู่ค่ะทำได้
there was the pressure at the beginning but runs on the board we were confident that our bowling could keep them down.
And when did it make you nervous, or did you have faith that the bat job?
ตอนวิกเก็ต so that's our top order yeah so ตอนวิกเก็ตของเราอ่ะเรารู้สึกกดดันแต่ว่าเราใจว่าพี่น้อยสามารถทำแต้มได้
แรกก็กดดันค่ะแล้วก็สามารถคุมเกมได้ก็สบายใจ
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, can I have the skipper of the Namibia team, Yasmin? It's fine. So Yasmin, a fantastic start from you. Disappointing to finish the way you did, but you must take heart from how you went in the first innings.
Yeah, I mean the bowlers did their job. We our target to restrict them under 100, so just about.
And what a catch in that first innings. That's a moment you'll never forget.
Yeah. Oh, our eyes were so big. We just saw. I had a close-up look at that, and yeah, we were impressed.
So going forward, how will you look to change things to get a win in your third game?
Obviously, our batting is going to have to improve. It's only at that aspect of the game that's not getting us over the rope. So obviously, we want to put out a better batting performance.
Okay, congratulations on a great bowling performance. Thanks. Okay, back to Preston. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Isabel. And that concludes our proceedings for Game 1 of Day 2 of the World T20 Qualifiers 2019 here at Forfarshire Cricket Club. Next game up at 1 p.m. GMT or 2 p.m. local time. It's bound to be a cracker. We've got the Netherlands, the very exciting young Netherlands team against the Ireland women's team. If you want to see any of the highlights from today's game or yesterday's game, please do visit the ICC website. But until 1 p.m, it's goodbye from Forfarshire Cricket Club.